Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Think Outside the Blocks, your weekly official Brickworld live stream, where we talk to you about thinking outside of the perceived rigidity of the Lego medium and also talk to you about thinking outside of your mental blocks. I, of course, am your host, Mark Larson, Chief Brick Officer of Brickworld. And this, everybody's favorite host, the guy on my left, it's Ben Hauger. Z Cerberus, how are you doing this week, sir?
Unfortunately, we are not the flag football juggernaut I was hoping for.
Oh,
we
no.
lost today.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
But it was a very good game. Hey, it's also Mother's Day, so let's talk about that for a minute, too.
Let's give it a Boo Earns that you lost. Ooh, to Mother's Day. Yeah. I will say, we said last week we've invited a bunch of people to come on the stream, and everyone's turned us down. But this guy didn't. Look, check it out, everybody. It's Stud Sidious. Hey, welcome.
How's it going, guys?
Going great. Thanks, man. How are you?
All right. How are you guys? How was your Mother's Days?
It was hectic. I was in the car for over 7 hours today.
Oof.
Yeah. I literally just got out of the car and ran down here, restarted the computer, plugged the lights in, and here we are. So Stud Sidious is joining us today. He is the famous artist who has brought you all of the designs that you see on the ACOB show. I had my shirt sitting out, but I was not able to go upstairs first. I had to come directly down here. Maybe when I take my first bathroom break, which may be frequent tonight because I knew we had to get here on time. So I drove the last 4.5 hours of the trip and did not stop. And that's going to aggravate my BPH. And I don't mean my Ben Philip Hauger.
I have an old man bladder too. I'm getting old. So.
I've had it since I was like 16 years old. I don't know what the deal is.
Oh man, that's I wouldn't want that.
But Stud Sidious is here on a special night because we're going to talk to him about his experience with lifestyle shots. Because Ben and I happen to have gotten a job as professional lifestyle models after you left the company.
Yeah, I love those captions you guys do. It's hilarious. I love them.
Awesome. We will definitely get to that in just a little bit, but our Tainted is here. The Tainted is in the house and have been for a while. We had Charlie Kaufman checking in right before we started. Hello, Charlie Kaufman. Thank you for being here. Monica Berry is here. Ron Smith is here. Ralph Nader is here. Superhawk Bricks is here. Rob Claxton, V Mac Attack, Monica Berry. Fabby Fan Milwaukee is here. Welcome back, Mr. Fabby Fan Milwaukee. Good to hear you. Good to see you here again. Monica Berry says, "Happy Mother's Day if any other moms of any sort are about." Got a good little group going here right when we get started. I have a new membership thank you video that I made in the car. This morning, so I'm going to try to get that uploaded as we're going through things here, Stud. Just to let you know, what we do typically here is we have a run of show, and I typically don't know anything about it until we start the stream and Ben shows it to me.
Yeah.
So I was kind of guessing that the letter tonight was going to be M, and so I made my name Mad Dash because it's been a mad dash today to get here.
That seems like a cue to pull up the run of show. Here we go.
I think it is.
Today's show brought to you by the letter M. Okay, this first topic, Mother's Day. Notice where I put the apostrophe. We'll talk about that. Second topic was going to be Miles and Mark. No Miles here because he would rather watch the Timberwolves, who are losing.
Gotcha.
At the in-laws' house. We have some more new sets, and we also have My Lifestyle Story featuring Stud Sidious. We can move that up or down, Stud, depending on how you're doing. We've got about 4 weeks, maybe a little more, till Brickworld Chicago, so we can talk a little bit about what people are doing for that right now. And then we'll do our mini close call-in rant. We're trying to work that in as much as we can right before we end the stream. And May 19th should be our next Think Outside the Blocks. That is next week.
Definitely will be. I think it will be epic because we'll start at 7, and I'll have built, because if it's Miles and Mark, and Miles isn't here, Mark didn't build anything this week. Well, I did, but I'm waiting on pieces. And let's thank the USPS because as the week was going, it was telling me that my Bricklink orders were going to show up on the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, and now they're both supposed to be here on the 13th. Thank you, USPS. So how about you, Stud? Are you working on anything right now?
Yeah, I actually just finished this today, Classic Space Model.
Oh, yeah. You sent me a picture of that on Instagram. I briefly saw it as I logged in to see if you'd seen the message.
Are these
got
These Mtron parts came in the CMF? Are those new? It was
They
like a
are.
weapon.
Yep.
I used them
That's
as engine ports, and these tiles came in handy. Those are from the CMFs too. The classic space tiles.
Oh yeah, that's great.
the
Whoops.
power lifter
wanna-
part for Mtron.
That
There we go.
trans stripe. I want to continue it down the back to the engine. But
Yes, that'd be very cool. That's very sleek.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot.
I don't know if I want this there. I just threw it on there, but you know what that reminds me of? The white space Mercedes and Spaceballs mixed with like a Galaxy 4.
It's a hybrid of the two. Yeah, I can totally see that. That's great. Well, if you want to talk a little bit more about that, we can put you in place of me for our second part of the run of show. Say M for Mario Kart. That's supposed to be coming out soon. We haven't seen any pictures of that yet. They haven't exactly. Let's swap everyone around. Ben, you'll still be on the left, but we'll put Stud in the in a better seat, so he's not just dropping down on the bottom. Yeah, looking forward to seeing those. We'll get to how quickly set images come out during my rant tonight.
Speaking of Mario
K's in the house. Yeah,
I've been saying forever that would be like when they first heard about the Mario line, because all the little polybags Lego does and everything. Like it's cool to have little Mario Kart builds, and I can't believe it took them so long with the popularity of that game.
No kidding.
It took them so long to do it. Like,
and having the license with Nintendo, I'm very surprised it hasn't happened earlier, because I do think nowadays, I think more kids are introduced to Mario Kart before they're introduced to like Super Mario World. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think you're right. And you know what would be another huge fit for Lego? I don't know if Capcom will let them do it. It's Mega Man. All the mechs they could do with Mega Man.
Oh, because that's all they do is mechs.
Yeah, it's all mechs. It's all little mech. It fits their price strategy perfectly. All the little like $15 mechs, and then they can make big ones, for the higher price point. But that was
totally agree. I've never played Mega Man, but I guess it's all about mechs. That's pretty easy. I mean, there's so much they could do with it. I think we're going to see some Zelda sets. I think it's going to be revealed this week. For some reason, Brick Clicker seems to think that's going to happen. John K is excited because he actually gets to watch a full video tonight, so starting late was good for him. Monica Berry says Mother's Day for all the moms. I was guessing the same thing. TJ is in the house. Fabby Film Milwaukee really liked your spaceship there. Stud Dawn is here. There is a Bowser car set. Yeah, is that actually from Mario Kart, though? Or is that from part of the...
It's officially Mario Kart.
It's in the game.
Is, nice.
So that does end up in Mario Kart? Okay.
But I think he's got a little tiny version of it in Mario Kart, but that bigger one that he's in is from like one of the games. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But not 100% positive, but I do remember the games him driving in that big purple skull car.
All right. Well, I felt a little tense as we were starting, just because it was quite the journey getting here. So I'm going to breathe for a second. Oh, yay. And I can stop rambling and shouting, and we can slowly get into the show here. So, what's the first day? You want to talk about Mother's apostrophe day?
That secret apostrophe. So,
I know what it's about.
Yeah. So a lot of people have said, and I'm one of these, that it is Mother's Day apostrophe S as opposed to S apostrophe, because it is a day where you are supposed to celebrate your mother. Not necessarily all mothers. However, a lot of people feel strongly the other way.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and put the apostrophe after the S to see if this is the kind of thing that people gravitate towards. Do we need a movement to move the apostrophe? Or should it just be mother apostrophe S as it always has been? And, people can choose to celebrate it the other way.
Or you can just put the S in brackets.
Right.
I don't know. It's definitely possessive, but
Yeah, I've always seen it beforehand. I've never seen it after.
I haven't.
I like it
either, but that becomes the issue, right? Is when you're thinking about where does this apostrophe truly belong? Do you subscribe to the Mother's Day is to celebrate all mothers, or it's to celebrate your mother or your mother figure?
Well, now with the internet today, everyone can have their opinion on everything. So I guess
Exactly.
that's where the afterwards has come up from. I've never seen it like that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it'll take off. Maybe it won't. Dawn goes with the apostrophe S.
Where'd it go?
She's traditional, I think. Let's see. I feel like apostrophe S is still a day for all mothers, but S or SSSS does make it clearer. So Monica's in favor of maybe all of them. Fabby Van says, hey, how about 2 apostrophes? Just split the difference. Throw as many apostrophes on as you can.
What is going on?
That might work too.
Oh, here. I know what I did.
Who knows?
I am trying to share my screen and it's not letting me. But what I did was I pulled up the Subi 428.
Oh, yes.
I'm trying to share it, but since it's your story, why don't you talk about what the apostrophe means to you on Mother's Day?
Sure. That's another apostrophe that's bigger in my family and in my household. Maybe I can find the picture myself here. So
yeah, I can
my
text
mother
it to you.
on Mother's Day, well, I'm sure I have a picture of it somewhere.
Yeah. I just don't know why I can't share mine. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll shut up.
I'll get it on here. So my mother has been deceased now for 9 years. And when she first got sick with cancer, it was a neuroendocrine tumor. She was told at first that she might have quite a while to live. It was the same type of cancer that Steve Jobs had, and he lived with it for quite a while. But my mom's became very aggressive, and she was an English teacher. So part of the, struggle when you find yourself at end of life type stages is considering what does it all mean, what's next, everything else. And because she was an English teacher, apostrophe is not quite right. It's more like a comma. We talked about how.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
It's still fine. Death, or part of moving on, can just be a pause, like a comma, not a period. So the red comma became a big sort of inspirational thought or message for her. And so she had a mug with that on there and other stuff. That particular year, I was very seriously considering not going to Brickworld. I didn't even initially sign up because, spending time with my mom, but it was something she wanted to be able to look forward to things. She ended up passing away before we got to go. But because of that, I decided I did want to go and build a spaceship for our collaborative in her honor that resembled a red comma. Now we've got to find the red comma because we're talking about it. The name of the ship was my mom's nickname, Subi. And then, like all Lego spaceships, it needed a number as well. So I gave it her birthday of 428.
Let me try to refresh my screen here so that I can see why I can't share my screen, because that will make a very boring stream for some things if I can't share.
Yeah, we'll get around to that. And I am here we go. We've got my screen so we can share it. Okay, Mark vanished. Now he's back.
That's what happens when you refresh. It kicks you out of the studio. Now we know.
Yeah, we can share my screen here. So if we share.
And now I finally got it up.
Hey, there you go. There it is. So never mind. I will leave mine down. So there it is. The Subi 428. Kind of looks like a giant flying comma. Crystal writes, was that 2015?
It
yes,
certainly was.
Yes.
Yep.
My daughter Mara was born the following year, 2016. That's how I can keep track of it. But there it is, Subi 428.
Now with those, I think they came in Star Wars sets like a year ago. Those big translucent pieces that are like stands almost.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that anymore with like.
Yeah.
I even great like that, but I'm so glad that, those pieces now, because you can have one slick piece that holds it up.
Yeah, one of our sponsors has some pretty great stands for that, just acrylic stands that they laser cut for different ships that I think will work with a lot of people's MOCs. They're built for official set. Yes, exact brick shell cases. That's right. We got a lot of comments here in the meantime. Extra Bricks is here. Really likes the Subi 428. We got a bunch of we got a big old apostrophe conversation going on here. There we go. Oh yeah, that's a great shot of it.
For my stream, you can see this is not the end comma. That was kind of the idea there.
Yeah.
There it is, and you can see that up in the window here. If I zoom in, there's my mom and Shakespeare at the helm.
I like the font choice
flying
too.
the ship. So
I like that font choice a lot too. It's very 70s. It's like 70s airport font.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monica Berry is much more with the singular possessive, but likes the plural possessive as well. And Fabby Fan Walkie just says, why not just put one on both sides of the S? Alternate candidate is conflicted, always before for me, but I like the logic the apostrophe after. Agreed as well. Charlie Kaufman says, up against the wall. I don't know exactly what this is referring to because my brain's probably moving a little bit too quickly for us tonight. Monica Berry says her hubby proposed on Mother's Day. That's very sweet.
Well, I think he proposed Mother's Day with all the apostrophes after every letter.
Oh, I misread that. So maybe he didn't.
It's an interesting idea. But there you go.
Reed's working on Clover of Hope leaf tonight for his mom, who's a breast cancer survivor. So we just got right into death again. We do that a lot here. Although she's alive, she survived. But it's a very existential thing to survive cancer at the same time, especially for everybody involved, the entire family. Extra Brick says your story makes the build even better. Yeah, agreed.
Did you guys know Brick Anissa that recently passed away in the community?
I do not.
She passed away from cancer. Like, it came on aggressive lung cancer within a few months. She just passed away. She used to be on the Tricky Brick streams all the time. They were on Lego Masters Season 2. I forget their name.
Oh, Tricky Bricks is oh no, I've forgotten their names as well. Yeah, I know. I read that. Monica Berry says Ben is correct. Her hubby did not propose to her. She proposed to him, which is awesome.
Modern woman right there.
Richard and Flynn. Tricky Bricks.
Yeah, Richard and Flynn. Yeah, Richard and Flynn. Yeah. She was very creative, smart, awesome, super friendly lady. And I wondered where she'd been for a few months. I didn't know she was sick. She just passed away. A lot of people knew her. It was pretty sad.
Oh, it's unfortunate. Very sad. Get myself some lights up in here. So that's all for the mothers out there and remembering the people that we've lost. Let's see. All right. So there we go. Mother's Day, first topic. Are we going to get on? Do you have something that you built this week, Ben?
I'm planning to show the collaborative I have with Miles. He was going to come and present it with me, but he's not here. But I need to present something, so we're going to talk about it anyway.
Good idea.
Perhaps he can come on and do some more talking a different day, but M happens to work really well for my son's name, Miles. So I was going to have Miles and Mark in this segment, but it turns out instead it's going to be Ben and John talking about their MOCs instead. So,
right. I was to say, we also have a creation that John is also an artist, and he made a pretty cool shirt for Brickworld, and we can share that tonight as well. So let's make sure I get that pulled up here.
Get into this here.
John, if you're ready for that.
Yeah. No, totally.
Awesome.
Okay.
I have another MOC here too that I forgot I'm working on. A Darth Vader pod racer.
Perfect. Everyone got to build this week but me. Darth Vader pod racer.
It's been a long, slow project. It's one of those things that I worked a little bit on and just put it down and then picked it up. And
I
have so many, I call it the shelf of shame. I have I don't display sets, but I have MOCs everywhere that are half finished and I just
yeah,
everywhere.
The shelf of shame. It sounds.
Then we got to do
we do, doesn't it?
I'd say since Stud's a new guest, we have to do Closet of Shame tonight.
Closet of Shame would be great.
So Closet of Shame, Ben. Your name's not Ben. Stud. Closet of Shame is you pull something out of that storage area where you leave your unopened sets and pull out a set that either it's been sitting there for a long time. Or you're I don't know why I bought this, or I don't know why I haven't opened this yet, or I'm happy that I have this and I don't know if I want to open it. That sort of Closet of Shame is what we call it. So we'll do that segment in a little bit too.
Okay.
Always worth it. All right, so
we'll do it all correctly.
So here we go. We've got what Miles and I are working on. This he decided to call Blues Revenge, and you might say, well, why is it Blues Revenge? Because last year we did one where the red guys were attacking a storehouse.
Yes.
So this time he wanted the blue guys to seek some revenge.
Very cool.
So the way we collaborate, or Miles and I collaborate, is he comes up with the idea.
Yeah.
I do some of the building. Last year I got him to do a sketch. This year he wouldn't do it. But this year he participated more actively in the building as well.
His sketch was so cute last year.
Yeah, he built some of the trees. He designed the mine cart, and built that. And he poses all the figures, of course, when we do it. And he comes up with the overall concept and yays and nays as we build together what he likes. Right now, we have a feeling that we don't have enough blue guys on our base.
Okay.
But this is where we are. So he wanted a snow setting as opposed to our last one, which was in a forest. And he wanted a mine entrance. So that's what we worked on there.
I like both those things. That's coming through.
A little mine cart action.
I didn't know those ferns came in white. That's awesome.
Oh, yes, they do.
Yeah. Isn't that great? I mean, I'm thinking about using those for the tops of columns.
Yeah, they're a new part, too. So it's like, I didn't know they already came. They're in like several colors now, and they just came out like a year ago.
Exactly. Yeah. Dark green, dark gray, trans glittery purple, or trans glittery pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Pearlescent. Thank you. I was like, glittery looking.
It's the one that they're putting in all the city space sets, right? For the little the little energy cells or whatever they are.
It was also in the Princess Battle Pack. It was in that Princess Battle Pack. That huge one with the. Yeah. I got the Habitats one this week. I meant to take a lifestyle shot with it, but I did not end up having the time. Oh, it doesn't have the piece in it though.
Yeah,
it does. Yeah, it does.
It's already
updated. It does.
It's already on Bricks and Pieces, so you can already get the white piece in there. Which is the reason I have a number of them. But this is what we're working on. So a few more figures, I think, and the story will be complete. We got a wolf attacking our reindeer here, who's got a little sled.
Oh no. That's sad. Crystal likes it. She says nice.
A number of other things. So Miles will talk your ear off if you want to ask him about this when you see him at Brickworld.
Yeah, that'll be great. He's going to be campaigning for a Brickworld Master, right?
For himself, yes, definitely. No question.
I like the tracks. Oh, before I say anything, John, what are your thoughts on this?
I like it. I like it a lot. I like the one thing I like is the two-tone of the grays and the rock work. Because a lot of people don't do that, and it drives me nuts. Like, my designer would slap me and be like, highlights and lowlights, highlights and lowlights. Like, a lot of people build these giant structured walls, and it's all one color. And it's like, you can do tone on tone and give it a little depth. And, I like it a lot. But I love a good greebled, like, stonework or rock wall or sucker for that. And same thing with, like, snow and stuff like that. So I think it's cool. I don't think that it doesn't have enough figs. Your son wants more figs. I mean, it wouldn't hurt with more figs.
Always. He's the fig posing guy, and I think mostly he wants some archers because he wants every archer to be shooting at another archer. I mean, he's got very specific requirements.
Oh yeah.
That I have to follow. So
I can see where you're letting him art direct, and I think that's the cutest thing about this is that you're like, I know you're capable of different rock work for this, but he probably just wanted it. Just slow it down, Dad. I can imagine him.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it, right? Is that I broke it up a little bit here and there with some changes in direction and other things, but you can go much crazier on rock work, and I have gone much crazier on rock work. But part of it is I want him to participate as well. I want him to spend the time he wants to spend on it, and not just be like, oh, go upstairs for 4 hours and come back and see how our rock work looks. Instead, it's okay, Miles, I was building the rock work. Should we put some of these in? Yeah, let's put some of those in. Okay, do they look good here? No, move that one. I mean, that's part of collaborating is taking feedback.
Extra Brick says, you like what? Sorry.
I like mixing in those big molded rock parts too. I like that.
It's really good for structure. I did that. I built an entire waterfall out of those bricks, and then I ended up building outside past them, but that thing was solid.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't see any of the original burps, big ugly rock pieces by the time it was done, but it just helped really make it solid and easier to move. Extra Brick says the ferns are one of my new favorites. They look so good as trees. They really do. It's like we didn't have a great pine tree piece before this. TJ says, I'm working on rock work right now. The Temple of Air Jitsu needs some detail to it. He's been working for weeks on that very detailed roof that he did. Reed says, working on a rock wall behind my bandstand. Lots of panels, but some slopes and translucent pieces. Very cool. Yeah, I'd like to see. I'm looking forward to seeing Reed's work with more landscaping in it. He's been building castles, amazing castles for years. So Dawn brings up this. I have burps, merps, and lerps on my part of a collab for Chicago. So I know burps and medium. Okay, sorry. That should have been easy. Big ugly rock pieces, medium ugly rock pieces, little ugly rock pieces. Gotcha.
Yeah, and they have the ones that are like curved now as well, that are like corner.
They do? Oh yeah.
The corner ones. So I almost wonder if the old big rock piece is now the medium rock piece.
Right.
Retcon the burp and turned it into the merp. I don't know.
It could be a corner ugly rock piece.
I have Spaceballs stuck in my head now because that the burps, merps, and lerps reminds me of the we've lost the bleeps, the creeps, and the jeeps. The radar.
It's been a while since I've seen that, but that was one I used to be really familiar with.
What's that guy's name? The famous, he made all the noises, and he was in Police Academy too.
Oh, I can't think of his name. Oh God, yeah.
It's that scene where they jammed the radar. We've lost the bleeps, the creeps, and the jeeps.
Sound effect dude, Police Academy. I want to say he was a Chicagoan. Somebody in the chat get it yet? The what, and the what? You got to watch Extra Bricks. You got to go watch Spaceballs. Do not pass. Michael Winslow, is that it is his name? Yes.
Yeah.
Michael Winslow. Extra Bricks called it before I was able to Google it. So at least, I had Googled it. I just hadn't read his name because I got a bunch of ads for sound effects.
Yeah, we got really clarification. The corner one is the merp. Maybe that's a mega ugly rock piece.
The corner one is the merp? Oh,
well, it's newer, so they were probably like, oh, we already have a burp and a lerp. So what do we call this one?
Yeah, but like the one you used, then what's the one you used? A terp?
Yeah, I don't know what that one is.
That's like the corner one.
That's like the texture one. Yeah, that's the corner one.
Stud Sidious has the corner one here.
Yeah.
Randomly just had it and next sitting next.
Yeah, definitely.
Look at that.
The corner one.
Perfect timing.
And then it's sitting right next to me.
Merp is for medium, though. Joellen confirms it. I mean, is it medium? Is it extra large? Is it mega? Who knows?
Well, I would like to propose that we call the one that's in your build the slurp, the super little ugly rock piece.
Or maybe the textured ugly rock piece, the terp?
No.
Okay.
No,
maybe it's not ugly. Maybe it's just the textured rock piece. It's just the TRP.
There's a lot of people that don't like them, but if used correctly, I like them.
I agree.
Uh-huh.
There's definitely good ways to use them.
The corner one is not a lerp; it's a separate erp. Who knows?
It's a unnamed erp, an erp.
Yeah, we apparently taught Monica about the corner ones. Yeah, they were big in. They had a line of volcano sets where they had the lime green explorer guys like mining at a volcano. There were a bunch of those in there to form the volcanoes.
They're also great to use, like we were saying earlier, as support underneath rock walls and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
It just fills up with safe space for bricks, and it's good support.
Yeah. Well, so here we have it. The Miles and Daddy collab. There's going to be a few tweaks before it gets to Brickworld, but a little preview there. Come up and tell Miles that you love it. I'm sure he'll be standing at the table. Excited to tell everybody about what we built.
Before I give some constructive criticism, I want to go back to a couple of comments that Monica made between topics here. Just going back to Naomi, Monica says that she was the first AFOL to reach out for her, reach out to her as a friend more than just chatting during the stream. And then she redefined closet of shame, aka your backlog. Yeah, backlog. That's definitely a way to think of it. I like that.
Yeah, I mean,
closet of shame is your backlog.
Not a backlog anymore. Now it's just my true shame.
Luckily, I have like 3 target bags on the floor, so I don't have to leave the room to get to my closet of shame this time. So I'm going to go ahead and solo this real quick. I have a couple questions for you and vicariously Miles.
Yes.
That is a tight turn that mining cart has to take. Is that a Miles direction?
Yeah, he wanted it to go off to the side.
Okay, yeah.
There are 2 different
Which makes sense.
Two different radiuses here, and actually the inner one is technically square. So it doesn't quite work.
That's what
like
I thought.
It should, but it does.
Right.
It does maintain this sort of too wide base inside there pretty well.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think it would be a little difficult to actually turn there. But that's just part of the creative process, of course. Is
well,
sometimes it doesn't necessarily make sense, but there you go.
There was this roller coaster at this place, Lake Quassapog. It's an old park in Connecticut, like amusement park, and they would have. It's a roller coaster with individual carts like that. But the thing about this roller coaster is that it had tons of sharp turns like that because the cart would go off the track and had a thing in it that would catch you and then turn you back in. So every turn you go, it was terrifying as a child. Like
sounds safe. It's like one of those. Was it one of those roller coasters that was actually on the back of a trailer, like a semi drove it across the country, or was it?
Yeah, the tracks were really tiny. It looked like a carny put it together. Yeah, like for real. And it was, and you're in an individual cart, like you and one other person. It's called the Runaway Mouse, and you would you can Google this thing. And
ours was. I know what you're talking about.
The whole point of it was that you would go halfway up the track and then turn real quick, and it was tons of turns. It was so scary.
Since I grew up in Chicago, ours was called the Rat Trap. So Ben, I think the mining cart itself, the edges of the cart are a little thick.
Yeah, well, this is. I said, "Hey, Miles, you're going to design the mine cart?" He said, "Yes." He knew that we had the snot pieces to build it in this fashion. I probably would have done it with brackets instead. But this is the way we went. The one issue with brackets, though, we would have had to widen the cart up a little bit more to make corners line up better. But this is what he was satisfied with. He also dictated the size of the wheels to me. So yeah, it's a nice thick mining cart. But it is what he envisioned. So there you go.
Are there like gems inside of it?
Yes, there are a bunch of red gems in there.
Yeah, I love those pieces.
I had a whole basically a case of red gems that I got for a mock that I did quite a while ago that had a bunch of red gems that we were mining. I think I got them on Pick-a-Brick clearance at the Mall of America. So I have thousands of these red gems. So at least we got a couple in this mock here.
Gotta use them when you can. When you have thousands of them. Reagan is here. Hey, Reagan, Swifty Reagan. Stud Sidious, when you were talking about the different tone of rockwork, I've been to the East Coast, and I've been in harbors up there. I've been out on the ocean in a little cabin cruiser, and it's just fascinating to me the different color of the rocks just from the high tide, low tide. I took so many pictures of just rock with the two different tones. It's beautiful.
Yeah. There's up in Maine. My brother lives up in Maine, and it's called Acadia. It's like a state park, and they have famous bluffs. And you walk on the edge of these cliffs, and it's freaky if you don't like heights because you're on seriously tall bluffs, just right down. It's like you're in an Indiana Jones movie, but they're really colorful rocks like that, and the quartz and everything. Acadia is gorgeous for that stuff. Gorgeous.
That's on my bucket list for sure. Just going back through the comments here, Charlie Kaufman has also ridden the Rat Trap. It's a very common Midwest one. There was definitely a specific trailer that would bring it from carnival to carnival. Reed says mine cart is thick enough for mining uranium.
All right, why not?
Extra Brick says that Spaceballs quotes live in his brain completely free of charge. I did not have to explain to him what it was. Why'd you ask the what, and the what then? Extra Bricks also says it all sounds safe. All these roller coasters we're talking about. Don does not want to ride that.
I regret, speaking of Spaceballs, I did a mock of them sitting at the jammed radar, and I used the the long translucent the stud shooter parts that have a little bulbous end and then the rod. And those were making the drips of the jam coming down. It was a cool parts usage. I tore it apart. I need to rebuild that. I regret it. I have pictures on my Instagram, but I kick myself all the time. I shouldn't take it apart. I don't know why I did.
That's a good topic some week. Is like, what MOC did you wish you hadn't taken apart, or wish hadn't been damaged during a flood or moving that you wish you'd like revisit? I mean, 'cause that's the thing about Lego. It does eventually go back together in some form. Even if it's years later, you can definitely revisit that and like have an anniversary visit to that Spaceballs MOC you like so much. Reed says that he did the same with Trans Yellow, the UV reactive one. He bought a case in the days when it was allowed. Oh yes, I know who you bought that through.
Gems.
Ben. Oh no, or maybe you did it yourself. Ben slowly selling some of them off. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hang on to those things now that I have Brickworld. I mean, that's what I did before I purchased Brickworld from the previous owners. I was starting to take some of those purchases and those things that I was like, I'll just hang on to all my old gray, all my old dark gray, because I may want to use it someday. And then finally, I was like, all right, we live in a condo. It was a big condo, but there wasn't enough room for my Lego collection the way it was at. And so I was starting to like really thin things out and like make a couple bucks selling some rare pieces that I just wasn't going to use. Reed also says which MOC fell off a cart and exploded, making the creator ball his head off. Is that a question? Anyone have any idea?
No.
Okay.
The only one I know that fell over was Larry's, but that wasn't a cart.
Yeah, exploding MOCs is nightmare fuel for me. So.
It rings a bell, like a cart hitting the edge of a MOC. I know that one of Nanon's big like roller coaster things, like back in the day, someone knocked it over, like 2007, 2008. Extra Brick says it is literally the next thing said in the movie, Mark. It's part of the scene. Oh, okay. I see. You're quoting the next line in the movie.
That makes sense.
Gotcha. Right after it says the bleep, sweeps, and the creeps, someone says the what, and what. All right. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I got that.
Okay. Well, since we're done with Miles MOC,
we can move on to Stud Sidious. Yeah.
We can move on to Stud Sidious. Do we want to do Closet of Shame before the MOC or after?
Should we?
I think we should do it before so that we can get to know Stud.
You know what we should do before we do any of that? I would like to do this. Hey, thank you to our channel members. You can like and subscribe at any time during this video. You can comment, of course, as well. And you can also join us and find out all these amazing benefits that you get from being a member. And thank you to our 6 members who have joined us so far. Hopefully there'll be more, and also hopefully we'll come up with more benefits for our channel members as well. So, all right, you are up, Stud Sidious. Are we going Closet of Shame?
Closet of Shame.
First, I wanted to show you. This is the Darth Vader pod racer.
Oh, nice. All right, we're gonna solo you. There you go.
I'm gonna build a bunch of rock work and have like Jawas and Tuskens hiding in the rock work, but I figured he had a pod racer when he was a little kid. So what would it look like when he was an evil adult?
Right.
TIE fighter getting dragged behind the. It is going to have to be much bigger, this base plate, to do all the rock work. But
I like that.
It's my shame because it's been sitting around for almost a year and a half, and I haven't done the rock work.
Oh, don't worry about it. Mine's been sitting around for a year and a half as well, and I brought it to Brickworld last year in like a horribly unfinished form, thinking that I was going to be able to finish it in my hotel room like I did before I was running the show. What I love about this story is like even after he's an evil lord, he still has his hobby.
Yeah, he's still racing his little pod. I want to like really like have rock work like and little caverns with them hiding in there, like a little story in the background.
Oh god, yeah.
And the funny thing is, the tan bricks are cheap, and I just it's my shame. I'm lazy on ordering parts.
You're not lazy. You've got other things to do that are fulfilling you in life more often.
I'm busy with art, but it's. The thing, too, is I just can't stand having to order from multiple vendors. If there was some place I could get every brick I needed for a project at once, it would just make life so easier.
I've got some suggestions for you. I can pull up the ones that I go to most often, and we can make that part of our sponsor run tonight. Because there are several stores I check first for things, and even when I try to do like the let's see which stores have the highest quantity, those stores often end up in my search. So I'll go ahead and bring those up while you continue to. What's
Garbage
this?
Pail Kid. Garbage Pail Kids.
Garbage Pail Kids.
Which one?
Atom Bomb, the one who's like the traditional, the one who's blowing his head
Yes,
up.
yes.
The logo of Garbage Pail Kids. He's usually sitting down, but I thought that would look weird as Brickhead. So
I have friends from junior high who still call me Barky Marky.
I wish they made this part in the top bigger, but it is what it is. It works that way.
Yeah.
I used to use the orange leaf parts for his head blown up, but I changed it. The old way I had the orange leaf parts, but I just ended up tweaking it to that. When they came out with that orange part, I just switched it. But yeah, I would love stores to know big stores, because whenever I go into Bricklink and I need parts, I'm always having to order from several different stores, and it's like my pet peeve. It drives me crazy.
Sounds
Same.
like a rant.
Do you use the wish list or the wanted list?
No, but I should. There's a lot of stuff in Bricklink I don't use that I should.
It helps because you can query stores like based on your wish list.
Yeah.
And it'll give you the stores that have the most of the pieces that you're looking for. Sometimes by lot, sometimes by quantity. It depends on how you set the search. Let's see if I can find these guys. Brick Vibe.
That's a good because I didn't know that. I just use the basic necessities in there. To be honest, I actually use Brick Owl more sometimes. I use Brick Owl because I found that the vendors there ship much quicker in Brick Owl. And I'm closer to that part of Canada.
Yeah.
But it's still I don't know. I'm very basic when I go into both of them. I don't use all the fancy stuff in there.
I haven't gone to Brick Owl yet. So, I mean, perhaps that's one of the things I need to do is like check out and see what that's all about.
It's good. I like it. I mean, I use both. Like I said, I found that because they don't. Some of the Bricklink people, they have to invoice you first or invoice you, and it takes a little longer.
Yeah,
they just send it to you. Like it's very quick. So it depends.
Yeah. What's going on? I'm trying to figure out where these stores are. All right. So, are we classes of shame now? Are you done? Are you done showing us what you're working on?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have spots everywhere.
Did you?
Whatever.
So it's like Monica Berry said, it's like your backlog. Like wherever you keep all your unopened sets, it's just like basically like a set that you're like, I can't believe it. Like here's the three criteria I use when I go into my closet of shame. I say I can't believe I haven't opened this yet, or because I don't build sets at all, but at least I buy them because I want the parts. But sometimes they sit back there and I haven't opened them yet, even just to like cannibalize it. Or you don't know exactly how you ended up with it. I've had a few of those, like the witch, the pumpkin, and the whatever the third one was.
Yeah,
Turns out it was a gift with purchase.
Yeah,
yep. Exactly. Or it's like the other one is like I don't know why I bought this. Money was like burning a hole in my pocket. The Buzz Lightyear 4+ roller coaster I had, where I'm like I do not know why I bought this. I think I went to Target and they didn't have CMFs, and I was like, well, I gotta buy something Lego, and I was like purple roller coaster track, and then it just sat there for like 4 or 5 years, I think. Yeah.
So here's mine. We can get into this.
All right, perfect. I would say I'll go ahead and solo Ben so he can do his. If you want to run off and grab one stud.
I gotta grab one.
Yeah, go for it.
So here we go.
Take your time.
This is the old Hogsmeade Village.
That's such a good set.
It is adorable. Of course, the main reason I got this was because it has a lot of really nice looking pieces for potentially building castle stuff. I believe I'm into castle now. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I have no idea.
Hard to keep track, but we've got some
it's
medium
impossible.
nougat. We've got some dark tan. We've got over on this one, we got some dark green. We've got a spirally rooftop piece.
Yep.
So we've got a lot of really good things. And this one, for some reason, it wasn't super popular. It ended up on clearance. I think down to basically half off at Target at one point. So I know why I bought it, and I know that I paid about half price for it.
Oh, that's
There
a
it
good
is.
reason to buy it. That's not a bad set at all.
It's
Yeah,
not.
definitely one I wouldn't be. One of the things I would say is maybe you haven't opened it up to part it out yet, because that is kind of like all of those pieces are your vernacular. Like you probably have a bunch of those.
I have a decent number, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where if I was running really low on a particular dark tan piece, and I went to
Yeah.
Bricklink and found out that it had 15 of them, I
Yeah.
might be like, yes, I can finally crack that thing open. But
Yeah.
there it is.
Great. This comment from Reed, 100%. Just need to know which one of Ben's split personalities is on the show tonight. Is it Castle or is it Space as his favorite?
Who needs to pick favorites, Reed?
Yeah,
You still gotta build that
that's
space
silly.
castle, man. You gotta build that space castle.
Don't worry, it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming
I
for sure.
figured it.
It's coming.
So this one's gonna be weird because the name Stud Sidious, everyone thinks that I build so much Star Wars, which I actually don't. It's like I built some Star Wars, but not. I don't know. I have a million of these because I use them for a mock, but I didn't need any more of them, and I bought this pancaked snowtrooper.
Yeah, a box of boys, as it was.
And Sean Acob talked me into this one. I was in the store and he was texting me and he's like, "Just get it." And it's all like destroyed. So that's one. But I have one more because
It might be a retirement fund someday, because those snowtroopers are likely to appreciate because they come out so infrequently.
Nope.
Yeah, but that box is destroyed, so people might.
The figures themselves, though.
Figures, yeah.
Yeah, take out the figures; they might be worth $30-$40 a piece.
I have a ton
Well,
of
that-
them. Of
Nice.
the old ones. I have the old ones because I love that.
Yeah,
that
same.
stuff, which I love.
I have a ton of the old one too.
This one I just got. I don't know why, because I despise these movies. They make too many. They make too many of these movies, and I can't stand them. But rest in peace
Fast
to
and the
the
Furious.
actor. But
Yeah,
I
it's
do
a
love so
Paul Walker. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's a great set.
That has,
I love Speed Champs are always snotty and interesting, great parts packs. But I just
Yeah.
can't stand the movies. I cannot stand these movies. Like
I don't think I've ever seen one.
a car like flew up to a helicopter.
I know.
Like, come on, man! It's like Fonzie jumping the shark. Like,
Exactly.
But
I remember there was a point in the late '90s where like every movie, the climax of the movie was some giant thing, like barreling down a crowded street. If it was a T-Rex or a ship in Speed 2, or like there was some movie where there was literally a bus hanging from a helicopter swinging down city streets. I think the end of Con Air had a plane that went down the street. I was like,
Landed
all
on the
right.
strip or something in Vegas.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. It was like a thing that happened.
Did you guys ever watch the Piranha movies, the old Piranha films?
Yes, I grew up on those. Are you kidding me? Piranha 2, the treasure.
There
They
was one
flew.
of the bat hybrids. Yeah,
Yes,
it was bat
yes.
hybrids and Piranha. They're like let's make something even scarier. We'll give them bat wings. Yes.
There you go.
Is it so? Like they're all in this like it was like a camp or something. They all had these like cabins on the beach, and like I remember like the first scene was like or one of the earlier scenes was like something kept hitting the light by the door, and they're like, oh, it's another bat or like whatever, and they got like attacked. And it was like Tremors 2, where they took like the perfect sci-fi movie, the perfect sci-fi monster that had no explanation, didn't need an explanation, and they had it evolve into little like
They gave them legs.
yeah, like mad
Tiny
balls.
ones.
Like
Yeah.
80s mad balls, the things you'd squeeze and their eyes would
Oh,
like
yeah,
pop
I love
out. It was like suddenly those things.
I love.
Yeah.
There's actually
Tremors.
a place
Yeah, Tremors was
before
essentially
the
sandworms from Dune in a horror movie. Right?
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
kept,
In a B
kept
horror
moving
movie.
it and moving it. Oh, yes, very much.
Dune 2, the second part was amazing. The first one was great, but it was all set up in story. And I mean, I love the books, and the second one was amazing. I loved it. It was so good.
So Matt and I wanted to go see that last night.
I haven't seen it. I don't think
I
Mark
haven't
has.
seen it. I saw the first part and loved it. Like I thought it was like one of the best sci-fi movies I've ever seen. Great translation of the text to the screen. So Matt and I wanted to go see part 2 last night, but it wasn't playing in the theaters anymore. At least not in Columbia, Missouri, which is where I was last night. So we went and saw Civil War instead, which I really enjoyed. but that's much less fun.
Dune 2 was like how Empire Strikes Back blew me away as a kid after seeing Star Wars. I thought Star Wars. Dune 2 was like what? And I watched it in the theater, and then I rented it for $20 online. I'm just gonna buy it because it should be on HBO Max soon, though. It'll be on HBO Max for free. So.
Yeah, that's kind of the struggle I had as I saw it was available for rent. I said, "Oh, what's the rental price?" And it was like $25. I'm like,
"It's worth it, dude. It is worth it." But wait, it'll be free in a couple weeks, like a month.
Yeah, well, I guess my initial reaction was, "Is it still in theaters?" And it turns out it is in a theater near me, but I can't get to it.
Yeah, you have kids and stuff like it. It's definitely I wouldn't bring kids to this one.
I wouldn't bring my kids to that now.
There's a lot of fighting and action in it, like a lot, and but it was like Empire when I was a kid. It just blew me away. Like, and I love Dune, and they're coming out with a TV series, Dune. It was supposed to be about the Jesuit witches. It was supposed to be called Sisterhood of Dune, but I think they changed the name to like Messiah or something like the Prophecy.
The Dune Messiah.
Or Dune Prophecy. I mean, I used to watch the old Sci-Fi Channel Dune series with the Professor X in the recent X-Men films and stuff. Like I love Dune, man.
I did too. I didn't mean to do that. I was just pointing.
Yeah.
It oftentimes thinks I'm doing stuff when I'm not. I do this a lot. Okay, come on.
Now I won't even do it. Look at that. There we go.
Remember this one.
Dune Messiah, they might not be able to get away with because that's the title of one of the books.
I think it's Prophecy. I think it's Prophecy now or something like that. Prophecy.
Okay.
Dune Prophecy. It was supposed
to be the rights to the books.
And it has the actor.
They might.
The actor from Vikings that you like, the guy who played Ragnar in Vikings. He's in it. Your eye candy.
I love how you entertain this stuff. Yeah. My eye candy. Oh my goodness. Oh hey, I also have a Closet of Shame.
Oh yes. So we're gonna do Mark's Closet of Shame, and then we'll get on to the Lego set news. Mark, are you going to need a bathroom break / sponsor break?
Not yet. But I before we move on, we should show the great work that Stud's done for us in the meantime.
Oh, yes.
It's a work in progress, and so we're going to we'll do a Think Outside the Box sort of live critique of this great design. I adore it. Here we go. This is my Closet of Shame. There's a lot of really cool pieces that only appear in this set. Oh my god! Now that I see my face up close, I'm like, I am tired. Look at this face. Look at this face, you guys. It's like the whites of my eyes are like just really pink.
Yeah.
Very much so. I was like, I thought I did well. I just drove 4.5 hours. I think part of the problem was like we actually also got a lot of rest this weekend because we didn't have to do anything until the afternoon, and we were staying in hotels, so we were like, but yeah, a lot of really cool pieces in this. So that's why I bought it. I really want to see this baby dolphin, but I haven't opened it yet. It's been sitting at my feet for probably since April 27th, 28th. This is when I went to Target to see if the Animal Crossing sets had leaked onto the shelves yet. That's
why they put on the dolphins pieces. They put little freckles. They give them freckles. I always wondered why they do
that.
They get sunburnt easily. They're German.
They're sunspots. Yeah.
So here is one of the new sets. Since you brought up that Moana one.
Yeah.
They're doing a flower pot. If you remember, they did one, Isabel's flower pot or whatever. From
they also did. What is her name? From not Frozen. Encanto. Isabel.
Yeah. So they're kind of doing this now, sort of pseudo botanical meets.
I don't know
Disney princess thing where they're doing a couple of these.
I'm gonna check.
Lego.com
for you.
That's coming soon. That's it.
But I do like the basket weave texture on this.
It's cool as a diorama inside. I like the little scene inside. It's a cool idea when it opens up.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're gonna do these for like a bunch of Disney princesses, but they got a second one now, so I don't know.
It seems like they're crossing their streams. Crystal thinks this one looks cute, but it's like botanicals were good. Disney Princess is good. What if we mix chocolate and peanut butter together and see how it tastes?
I'm a mashup guy. I mean, all my shirts are mashups. So I'm a mashup. But I always ignore the botanical sets, but the parts are amazing. Like I was looking at Target the other day. I'm like, why haven't I bought some of these? Because just for the parts alone that come in there, like, I need to get some.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm checking for Swifty Reagan. Yes. Oh, hi. I haven't seen my puppy for 3 days, so hold on.
Yeah, mine's at my feet snoring right now. I have an old
Yeah.
English bulldog.
Well, seeing as how we're going to have the Lifestyle Master online, here's a very nice looking lifestyle shot here. We've got the instructions over here on like an iPad or something. So she's even going paperless for us. Maybe this is like, oh, hey, by the way, you could totally get the instructions online. Let's throw that in one of these. But there we have the soft focus background and the girl working hard to build this thing. Of course, she's got all the parts like already assembled. It's not like she has a pile of parts, but for whatever reason, they're broken off and spewed around. Seems to be a favorite lifestyle shot, is to do this sort of half disassembled thing for whatever reason. It's like, oh, in case you didn't know, you can take Lego apart.
They
but yeah,
at least they do, like nowadays. At least they do photo shoots, because man, when I was there, they would be like, get this stock photo of this person juggling on a unicycle and mix it. Like, they would ask you the craziest things to put together, and it's like, do you understand that there's different lighting sources, and I can't find what you need? Like, there's not like 2% Asian Jewish albino on a unicycle. I can't find that for you. They shouldn't have that. So
that's a preview of another future topic. We're crossing a lot of topics here.
That must have been before AI, because I'm sure now they're like, let's just do it. I did, by the way, Ben, do some research this week on some Blockelverse stuff. But I think we should do it next week, because I think we need some titles for it, and I think I should do some nice videos, introductions for that segment.
All right.
But yeah, the just to let Swifty Reagan know, the wayfinding boat from Moana. I'm going to go ahead and drop this in the chat. It is still available. It's $34.99, and maybe your parents will get that for you. Jesse's in the house. Smiley day to you as well. And let's see, yes, Crystal got it. It's Reese's Cups if you mix chocolate and peanut butter together, or if you mix botanicals and Disney. It's also a Reese's Cup. So are we? Yeah, since we're mixing so many topics together, are we going out with new sets, or do we want to look at?
Let's go to the new sets.
All right, cool. Then we'll look at that.
I have a Reese's question for you guys.
All right.
You prefer a big cup or regular cup?
Woo!
I'm a regular cup guy. The big cup was a little too thick for me.
I thought the extra peanut butter for me. I like the big cup.
I'm a big cup guy too, Stud.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough, you guys.
I think because okay, let's say I go to Dairy Queen and I say, give me a Reese's peanut butter cup Blizzard. Right? You're in heaven. You're thinking you're in heaven. The worst thing ever is when there's not enough peanut butter, and all you get is the edges of the cup, and it's just chocolate. I'm like, I feel ripped off.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So, I mean, if you go Reese's Big Cup Blizzard, it's like, I better get a lot of peanut butter now.
But the best Blizzard is Butterfinger. So this is nonsense to even be talking about putting Reese's in a Blizzard. We have another vote.
The way it sticks in your teeth just gets to me. Like,
oh, I love it. So extra bricks is voting for the big cup. Dawn is voting for the regular. Perfect mix of chocolate. I agree with that, because it's just the chocolate is nice and thin on top. It's just a little bite of chocolate. It's not too much peanut butter. Like, this would be a good close call, Ben.
It would have been.
That is sound logic.
And
I love extra bricks is here.
Long lost candy that gets stuck in your teeth. You guys remember Sugar Daddies?
Oh my god!
They made sugar babies, which were the little caramel jelly beans.
Yes.
They made the Sugar Daddy, the big caramel like lollipop, and it would get stuck in your teeth. Like, I haven't seen those in forever. Like,
well, because you couldn't tell the difference then between the stick and the caramel anymore.
Yeah.
So just eating paper. Butterfinger Blizzards all the way. Love me some soup.
Jolly Ranchers used to make the long slab that you could basically like turn into a lollipop shiv. Like, it would turn into a point in your mouth. Like, they don't make those anymore either. I mean, they make Jolly Ranchers, but not the long slab that we had when we were kids in the 80s and 70s, I believe. I don't remember if we had them in the 70s.
The Take 5 Reese's Yes, 100%.
But
yeah,
I'm gonna vote for Sticks. I like Reese's Sticks.
Reese's Sticks are very good. Yeah, it's like they're trying to compete with Twix, and so they put some little cookie wafers in it.
It's more like a Kit
but no,
Kat,
I think in the 70s,
but yeah, it's
or
delicious.
they're competing with both Kit Kat with peanut butter. No, I think in the 70s they had like the what I remember about the sugar daddies is that they were like lumpy. There was like 4 pillows of the caramel.
Yeah, Reese's is Hershey's, but I had M&M Mars as a client in one of the agencies I worked for. Like,
Yeah,
the person next to me was like the creative director on it.
mm-hmm.
Oh, I used to eat my fill. I gained like 50 pounds working at that place because they would just send us cases and cases of Snickers and Mars, like just cases and cases of it. Like,
so I have to go along with Super Hawk here. The Christmas trees.
Oh yeah.
Jeebus. Oh my goodness. I think I've had the Easter eggs too, but my family doesn't really celebrate Easter. We celebrate Christmas. And so I think I just ate the last tree the other day because my nephew bought me like a Santa Claus tin filled with the Reese's trees.
I always liked the holiday variants more because they had more peanut butter. Like,
yeah, they're like the big cup. Thank you.
Yeah, before the big cup was invented, those were my go-to. And and now in the holidays they make the giant Reese's cup that's like a pound. It's like huge.
I think because like the variegation or whatever you would call it, corrugation. Thank you. Yeah. The profile brickedness of the outside of the big cup is thicker in chocolate. That's why I like the trees better and the eggs because it still has that thin cover of chocolate, like the smaller cups with more peanut butter.
That's not too bad on the big cup.
And Lego Batman does the commercials. He's the voice in all those.
Oh yeah. You guys, I married a man who doesn't like peanut butter.
What? Oh, organic peanut butter pretzels. I live on those things, man. Love them.
He buys me those all the time.
Love them.
Because he knows I love peanut butter. He respects that at least, you know. Yeah. He knows I love peanut butter and pretzels. Two great tastes together.
Dots needs to go next level and make a peanut butter filled pretzel. That Dots has.
We certainly do. We need to.
Type of seasoning that works in that combo. Oh man.
What I love about having Stud Sidious on is that he's like, he remembers everything we've ever said in the chat about ourselves. I'm just like, wow. This is great. I love I also love the balance with that. I love the way this stream is going because what are we talking about? Doesn't matter.
We are in the second hour, and we start an hour late, so we should probably get to the news.
Okay, fair enough. And Amy Schultz, just to let you know, there is definitely a big difference because there's so much sugar in the Reese's peanut butter. I love both. Butterfinger is what is it? It's toffee and butterscotch. It's a butterscotch toffee that's in there. Anyway,
okay. There's around the holidays. I think they're called Buckeyes. They're like homemade Reese's balls that I think they started in like around Ohio. Maybe that's why they're called Buckeyes. They look like little.
I would guess that as well.
But it's the same thing. You mix like a certain granulated sugar with the peanut butter, and you get the actual, not like just like Reese's, but close. You get that granulated peanut butter.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of do like that from time to time, but also I like a good like Skippy Chunky.
Yeah, I've never had the big cup with the chunky in it. I never tried it with the nuts in it. I need to.
I haven't tried any Reese's with chunky. Reed says the newer Butterfingers are more butter. The old Butterfinger flavor was way better. Oh, there's a new. Oh no.
My first creative director I worked for, he did the Bart Simpson Butterfinger commercials. He was the guy who came up with it. The guy was crazy. He was a whack job.
He
was cool.
It's probably a whack job with a lot of money. Ron Smith says it's hard to hear, Stud.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you fine, but what do I know?
Maybe
I've been hearing you fine too.
I don't have a mic on my laptop.
I thought maybe he was saying it was hard to hear that you like the granulated peanut butter.
I do mumble and I have a deep voice, so I just speak up.
Yeah. I'm there every other week. I have a deep voice maybe 1 week out of the month. And I also have mush mouth. Don says, yes, we made Buckeyes when I was growing up in Ohio.
Yeah, they're awesome. I love them. Around the holidays, I always make my mom make them. But I also don't have the fancy, I'm jealous. I need the pilot gear you guys got going on. I don't have the little. It's like Aliens too. You guys got the microphones.
Yep.
I was game over, man. Game over. Sorry, that was the worst Bill Pullman impression ever. He's not a great actor anyway. So, but no, at Indianapolis, he is dead. Indianapolis and Grand Rapids, we have Buckeye Chocolate Company. Which guess where they come from? Oh, so they just say you're the quietest out of the three of us, which is hard for us. Like in my ears right now, we all sound, the three of us, equal.
Yeah.
But when I watch the streams back, I'm usually screaming. Ben's usually quieter.
This place also has, I have like 20-foot ceilings, so it's like very...
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, back to it. News.
Fine.
Look
News.
Look at this thing.
I like this thing a lot.
Gift with purchase. How adorable is this?
I was wondering, because people were like, "Oh, I spent so much money on the book for the Orange Spaceman, and now you can get it." And so people were angry about that, and I didn't know where it was what it was coming in.
But it doesn't have an air tank.
He does not have an air tank, or she does not have an air tank.
Yep.
But yeah, I love the alien chef with the bow tie.
Yeah, that's cool.
I do love the chef.
Yeah, he's got a microphone and an egg beater and a sandwich to deliver.
Don wants it. TJ wants it.
The little rocket is cool. The little flying rocket.
Yeah,
I like
the little flying rocket up here.
Is that a jukebox?
This is probably a jukebox. Yep, we got a menu up top as well. We got a juice machine, little flying saucer.
Well, it's not a human, Reagan.
Speaking of juice machines, did you guys see that Ideas approved the gumball dispenser that dispenses?
They did.
Yeah,
they did. That's what they approved.
They're going to make it. Yeah.
Weird.
According to TJ, the orange tanks are on Pick-a-Brick, as are the classic heads. Good to know. Good to know. Ralph Nader says, "Go ahead, Stud."
You know that in the GWP, the micro rocket set, those aren't space babies because they don't have baby print faces. They have regular classic space faces.
Oh, really?
So they're just meant to be micro spacemen. They're not supposed to be babies, which is weird. But I just ordered a bunch of the white ones.
That is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would know the differentiation there. So Ralph Nader says he likes to look at this GWP. Hearing a lot of people that don't. I also heard a few people that don't, and I'm shocked because this is just fun. Paige Pritchard says this needs to be on her shelf of shame. No, I'm kidding. Just her shelf. Yeah, this is. I think this is really creative, cute, and fun. It kind of reminds me of the one good scene from Episode 3 where Obi-Wan goes to, or maybe that was Episode 2.
2, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Where he goes to the diner.
Yeah, I loved that. Was like my one like my one scene that I was like, this is cool in the entire prequel trilogy.
Dude, the Clone Wars fans are begging for the set of that. They want that.
Yeah.
They keep begging.
Dexter, that's his, yeah.
And he's got to pull his pants up.
Yeah.
Are those medium legs of space people? It looks like it.
I don't think so.
They're regular.
Something like,
the regular length ones.
I think they look a little squatty because they don't have air tanks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Extra Brick says, I just like to think those particular space babies are just very serious, or they need a change diaper.
I just noticed it because I was a graphic designer for Lego, so I looked at the face print and I was like, that's not a baby face print. And then I remember an interview with one of the designers. She said that these are just micro spacemen, but it's just an interesting thing.
Okay. Well, that's our gift with purchase. Then let's get to the things that were announced. We had a couple of interesting things. The first one is what had been known as the life-sized cat, now renamed Tuxedo Cat.
Mm-hmm.
And here we have it. It is a black cat with some white highlights.
Those of you who know my staff will know that my friend and staff member, Nicole, is going to freak out over the set because she loves tuxedo cats. She's had a couple of them, and they have been the sweetest things in the world. But this is actually a really good design. Are we going to get to the cat that we insulted last week that actually turns out there's a much better version of that particular cat? Hey,
People mention it, but they haven't actually showed the official one of the other.
Yeah, they have. I got it.
Okay, well, I've seen it. I don't know.
I'll get it.
Official.
I can just see the YouTube videos now, though, of actual real cats swatting at these things, like knocking them.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
I like the heterochromia. Is that someone correct me if I'm wrong. Heterochromia, two different color eyes.
I think they give you two of each color eye, and then you can pick.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
David Bowie cat.
David Bowie cat. I love that. I love David Bowie so much.
He's got both the gold eyes here.
My favorite album, by the way, is One Outside.
Not even that, dude. I used to burn when I was a kid. I burnt out the VHS tape of Labyrinth. I burnt it out. I watched it so much.
He creeped me out in that movie.
I'm trying to get my kids to watch Labyrinth. They have not seen it yet.
Where would this be?
The Chili Down guys with the heads popping off. That was the only part that really freaked me out as a kid. But the other scene too was
Story
Artax, when Artax the horse went down. That was like traumatizing.
Yeah.
They're making a new Never-Ending Story.
There another one?
Not a fan.
Yeah.
Or what?
There's a new one coming out.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I did get it right, despite what my spell check is telling me. Hi, sweetheart.
So there we have it. Tuxedo Cat.
Baby. I missed you.
Kind of just got one pose. Looks like you can move the head maybe. But very nice model.
How come in the lifestyle shot it's got two different color eyes, and in the package it doesn't?
Yeah, I think they just let you do that. In a number of shots, it had the two different colored eyes. It's kind of like, oh look, you can give it this whole 2-eye thing if you want to. But I don't know. All right, what do we got next? Oh, I know what we got next.
Oh.
The Mona Lisa.
People are freaking out the face on this thing.
I think the face is well done close up. From far away, it looks a little 8-bit, not even 8-bit, but just like kind of like a cutout. Like someone made this is like the South Park Mona Lisa. It looks like it was made from construction paper.
I mean, people are going to want the gold bricks in that. Like, it's a lot of gold.
Oh yeah, if you're into gold, I'm not.
But I think that it's going to be a sticker sheet of 300 gold stickers, and then Lego's just going to have a note that says "sucker" inside the set.
It looks like it's getting a lot of hate. I'm going to say that this is a parts pack for sure. I'm not sure I would ever want to display this. However, it's got some dark orange. It's got a few different shades of blue, and of course, everyone already mentioned it, the gold frame. If you want some gold, you got a lot of ingots in here. You've got a lot of the bread loaf piece, as we like to call it.
Yeah.
So there's some stuff in here.
It's drum lacquer gold too, right? I think it
looks like it.
Yeah.
Ah, shoot! Sorry. Yeah. I found it.
Found it.
Where'd your screen go? Here it is.
How
Sorry.
much is the Mona Lisa?
Good question. We can look.
Like
a bunch.
250,
Probably
260.
Good guess.
Beginning.
There
it is. $100.
That's not bad.
1,500 pieces.
That's not bad. Yeah, I would get that for the gold. I would, and the parts, like.
Yeah.
What Monica said, I agree with that a lot.
For $100, I mean, damn,
yeah.
I thought it was $250.
Yeah,
it's good. I was like, for $20 less, you get the resident services from Animal Crossing, and that only has 550 pieces.
when you showed the website, it showed the Greenville Galaxy Milky Way one above it, and it was because my friend Macro says it looks like the floor of a Lego at the end of a Lego convention.
Yeah.
It's just a swirl of parts. But I actually like that set for parts, and it has rad parts in it. So.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying this is Weird Al. I've heard that a number of times.
Yeah.
By the way, when I went away to college, my freshman year, that was our guest star at Redbird Arena at Illinois State. We had a free concert from Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, accordion. He busts out the accordion.
I think that was the year he did the. I don't know. I didn't go. That was the year he did. That was the year he did the cover of the album was a spoof of Jurassic Park's logo.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm not a fan, but it does look like him. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, to go with the Mona Lisa, we have our other Parisian-y set.
Extra bricks. It's never inappropriate to say Butterface.
Yeah.
People.
So here's our other one.
people were complaining that this would be like a tedious, like step and repeat build, but Tiago said it wasn't. He said he really enjoyed the build. So I mean, that's his subjective opinion, but he said it was a very fun build experience. So I like architecture sets. I like building like small little heavily detailed things, but I don't. I wouldn't pay that much for this though. Even though I do need those tan bricks to finish my Darth Vader pod racer MOC.
You can make a great rock work for him to fly through with Notre Dame for sure. Check something real quick.
Got a couple other pictures of this too. Here's the overview picture.
Nice. Yeah, I like that there's an interior on this.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. The rose window pieces. Rose window pieces. What's she talking about?
These here.
Oh, nice. I hadn't looked at those up close. Oh, they've got the that weird tire insert in tan too, don't they?
Yep, up here. Yep.
John K says, "I love this. I love this set. Wasn't going to buy it when I heard about the rumors, but I will definitely get it now. Hopefully on sale." Yeah, we all hope for that.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that the actual building have like apostles or saints or something like in the stonework? I think they did that.
They have the little sand green minifigure trophies, kind of along the what's that called?
By the spire.
Spire, yeah.
Thank you. You know the.
Yep. We got the old wand over here as an architectural detail. So yeah, if you like tan or you like architecture, it's a pretty cool set. It is not cheap though. We saw that Moana was 100. Notre Dame will set you back 230. It does have 4,300 pieces though. So there you go.
So you guys, just real quick. So Lego History Sam is here. And he won one of the Narwhal sets last week. And so he had some questions for us about Brickworld. And so I replied to it with like, send me your address so I can give you the Narwhal. And I don't think he was here when we explained that there was a giveaway, because just based on the question he's asking. So Sam, glad you're here. We did a drawing last week for our 50th episode. You were one of the winners. The set is free. Reply to my email with your mailing address so I can send you a free copy of this set, the Dreams Narwhal set. It's Lizzie's Narwhal, blah, 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 something. Let's see. It is Izzy's Narwhal hot air balloon. So you won this, and I will ship it directly to you, but you just have to send me your mailing address. That's all I need. You won this for joining us at the live stream for our 50th episode. Episode. God, my eyes are really glassy, you guys. So yeah, just do that. Thank you. All right, back to regular programming. Sorry.
Here we go. So yeah, we've got a few other things here. Let's see here. Let's go to this one. There's some other new stuff, so we'll go over a couple of the ones that I noticed that we didn't really talk about yet. Here's the Harry Potter one. I don't know that I have a lot to say about this. This is going to be another.
I like this one.
It's going to be another Hogsmeade for me, right?
But everyone's like kind of
740 pieces, so I'm definitely going to wait for it to be on clearance.
Everyone's kind of dumping on this one, but I don't mind it. Like the interior of Grindelwald's, is that who makes the wands? Ollivander. Sorry.
Yeah,
Ollivander.
I heard that they're actually making different wand molds now, like not just the same standard wand mold.
Yeah, you can see it here. There's a couple different variations.
I also have to agree with Rita. I like the purple that we're getting there. There seems to be some new molds, some nice shades in there.
The ladder slides, that's cool. Ladder slides back and forth.
And we've got the wand box. So we've got that piece too now.
That's
I don't know if I've seen that before.
I think it's been around. I think I've seen it at least on Pick-a-Brick.
All right.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's not new.
Okay.
Not necessarily old.
And then a lot of people were humming about some of the Mario sets. So I took a look at a couple of ones that I thought.
The Soda Jungle, yeah.
This one in particular was interesting.
Cool parts.
Lots of cool parts in this one. I do like the interesting Mario trees here with the cloud pieces as the trees too.
Yeah, I thought this wave was ending though. Like I was really hoping that this wave was going to end and that we get minifigures finally for Mario. I mean, I know
didn't they say,
but I thought they said the wave was ending this summer.
I thought they said that a year ago.
Yeah, it's in with me. I thought it would be over, and by now we would. Because I'm like, all right, cool. Then they're going to do the Mario minifigures probably right when they put out the Zelda set, and like they still haven't done it. So
apparently, this has some like Ninjago life in it because they haven't been able to stop making them and releasing very cool new sets, and they must be selling. One box is not new, actually making a building from about 75 of them. Oh, excellent! Can't wait to see it, John K. Yeah, I'm kind of excited because like the more we see that this is being successful, the more Nintendo properties that we will hopefully see. I'd like to see a lot more Zelda sets than what's rumored that we're getting, what we know we're getting that we haven't seen pictures of. But the just in what you were saying about like Mario Kart having great like polybags.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already given us a really great Animal Crossing polybag. They can do an entire CMF series on Animal Crossing. They can do an entire CMF series on Mario Kart.
Yeah, you know,
because Mario Kart hits a lot of different properties too. And if they have that license with Nintendo, let's just keep it going. I think I saw on Mega has a Pokemon license. Is that right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And so I think they might be like wrestling some stuff away, but.
And speaking of CMFs, the Star Wars fans they always want Star Wars CMF. I would like it too, but I've explained this a million times. Star Wars fans, I worked for Lego. The licensing fees are too expensive for Star Wars CMFs. It does not fit their profit strategy. They will never do it. Stop asking.
Plus, you get like 1 million Star Wars sets a year.
That's why they make more money weeding them into the sets. And the licensing fee on Star Wars is like the highest in the industry.
And then
it doesn't fit their profit strategy. They won't make it.
They got 2 IPs to pay. Yeah.
They don't want to. They'll still make profit, but for them, it's not enough. They can make more money off of Marvel CMF or a different property, so that's what they do. So
you and I had
stop asking because it's never going to happen.
You and I had similar experiences working with Lego. I worked at Legoland, so I didn't work for Lego, but I worked with them, and it was fun. It was lots of fun. And then they get figures like the 5s figure, and they lose their minds because they hate it. I hate that figure. That's my imitation of them. This is cute. I would get this. There's a lot of good brown pieces in there. I hope they're not brittle.
Yeah, I like the $15 price on this. It's good for 173 pieces, but it's got a lot of colors that I'd use naturally for trees and forests and whatever else. So yeah, maybe it's not the most exciting set ever, but I do like that there's 3 Goombas, and I do like the parts in it. So Paige says she'd like to see a Stardew Valley Lego series, but I don't think that's a Nintendo license. I think that's third party, and we got to stay out of my cozy game market. We need more Animal Crossing figures before we get into Stardew Valley. But from what I hear, Stardew Valley is an excellent game that people who like cozy games are really into. So
I've always seen Animal Crossing as like virtual chores, but I mean, people like it.
I know. But that's what got to me about it, because I saw it as virtual designing. And then to get the things that you wanted in order to afford the stuff that you wanted to design with, boo to this, by the way.
Like Sim City kind of. I never thought.
But there's at least cheat codes for Sims, like where you don't have to do the daily chores. Because I did feel like that, where I'd be like, okay, I'm going to log in and do my chores for 2 hours, and then later in the day I'll log back in and do the stuff I want to do. That's why with time traveling, I'm like 2.5 years behind with Animal Crossing, because I'm like, well, if I don't do it sequentially, I won't get all my bells or my miles. That's how my brain talks, by the way. Mm-hmm. So what do you guys think about this?
The colors are interesting.
That's a nice thing to say.
I think you have to really, really like that light aqua-ish color, or you might not go for this. I don't think it's hideous, but I probably won't get it.
I think it's interesting that you could put a smartphone in the back and it projects. It actually projects the sound. Like I see him in New York City all the time. This guy made a fortune off. He molded this little plastic vent that you clip onto an iPhone, and it actually projects the sound like really loud, just from a little plastic piece that the way it's angled.
Oh, really?
And this is designed the same way. It has a they built it so it has a little tunnel that like projects the sound. I don't know how loud it will be, but I think the phone ones are loud, like really loud. So I mean, we'll see.
It also supposedly has, and the back of the box says it does have a
sound brick. Yeah.
We don't know what sounds it's doing. If it's just like adding radio fuzz when you're trying to tune your radio, I don't know.
You're right. That's what I was going to guess too. It's AM radio from the 1920s. Since like it's what's it called? Oh, hey, the chat seems to like it. Oh, look at Monica Berry just broke a brittle brown piece from that bulk lot she's been working on for a week now. Dawn wants more aqua. Crystal loves this. Monica Berry says it's all prime brittle brown era, 2012 to 2016. This entire bulk lot that she's been sorting for a week now. Should have been metallic chrome or silver. I was going to say, if it's going to make me buy it, it would have to be aqua, because I wouldn't want metallic chrome or silver. Although I do think that would have a bigger appeal if it did have like one of the metal, like one of the metallics. We have a lot of comments on this. There is a sound brick. Yep. Monica Berry says, I love that color. It's cool how it's put together, and the sound brick is fun, but not for her. It plays Everything is Awesome. That's the other guess I was going to make. It's either Everything is Awesome, because that's what they would have like the IP for, or it plays Radio Static. Monica says it does a lot of sounds, maybe. I'd like to hear it. Prove it. Is there a video? This has looked better in reviews to me. The functionality is kind of cool. It has some songs and tuning static in the brick. Aha. Okay. TJ says it's cool, but not something I need to buy. Amy Schultz says it plays a 70s radio commercial and a few bars of a song in static. A commercial for what?
Probably Lego, I would guess.
I would love that.
But who knows?
You would be amazed though how much it projects the sound, like these little awnings that snap onto an iPhone. Like there's YouTube videos about it, and that's how the Bose speakers were designed. Way that there's like a tunnel, and this guy in New York City, and he cost him probably like a tenth of a cent to make these things, and he's like a millionaire from it. Like it really projects the sound big. It's shocking. A little piece of plastic. So I'm curious how they designed it to do that. Like that's
so Don is under the impression. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off. There's a little bit of a delay.
I'm curious to see how they designed that, and if they did.
Yeah, I would say it's possible. There's all sorts of engineering things that are possible. Lego bricks that people have been doing for years. I love seeing that stuff on Instagram. That's going to be one of my rants one of these days. Is like, stop being so smart with your builds. So Don seems to think it makes 20 random sounds. Monica says, trying to remember who I saw the review by on Insta. You're all good. Drop us that link. We'll bring it up. An ad for ham salad. Are you serious?
Well, okay. That's
Lego History Sam would prefer an actual retro radio. Amy Schultz says, I forget something random in the commercial. Brixie did a video. Brixie. So, Monica, if you look for Brixie, that might be the person that you saw. Actual Brick says, I've seen a lot of those amplifiers at art shows, but they were made of wood. And it's time for me to take a bathroom break.
Okay.
Hey, I made it.
My parents' basement is like a museum of radios throughout the decades. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know why my dad collects radios, but he has he has the old wooden cabinet that's like tall with the record player in it, but it's like. I was about to ask about. That was literally. Yes. Thousands and thousands of dollars. He has a few of them that you can't go near. He'll get so mad if you go near them because they're antiques and they're worth a lot of money. But I was literally about to ask about that. When you said that, I was like, did your grandparents have the it was either like an armoire? Yeah, it's armoire. Yeah, it looks like an armoire with the record player in it. So my grandparents had like the like sofa back table version. So it was like flat. It was like a big old dresser. And then, like, you open it up in the middle so you can actually get to the record player from the top. And then the speakers were in the outside cabinets. And then all the record storage was underneath. Yeah, it was a huge old furniture piece. Yeah, my dad has a few different kinds. One, like, tall, thin one. A wide one, like a cat, like a dresser, like you said. He's got, like, 3 or 4 of them. I have to get to my mother's crawl space because we have a bunch of Disney VHS in there. I just read an article about how some of these VHS tapes might be worth, the Disney ones, might be worth
hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, granted, that's if they're sealed, and I don't think any of ours are, but we have like 50 titles. And so even opened and in whatever condition they're in, I'll see what eBay will do for us, and we'll maybe start a 401k.
He's got
What's that?
He's got a cast iron stove in the basement too, that with the Victorian legs and everything. This thing is like
oh my god!
Today, but you can't get it out of the house. You have to like tear the like it's literally the size of a kitchen, and it's like
a pool table.
Victorian legs, and it's all cast iron, like huge old oven. Like must be worth so much money, but I can't even get it out of the house if I wanted to.
All right, I will be right back.
Okay. When Mark comes back, he will pull up probably the other part to this. But we talked a bit about this set and teased it a little because it seemed very basic and maybe a bit disappointing to the extent that it didn't look very impressive, and a lot of people had been excited for a Simba icons set. It turns out, and Mark will bring up the picture here, that there are going to be 2 Simbas.
Yeah, there's 2 of them, yeah.
A little one like this, and then $100-ish one that's much larger. I struggle to know if it's a good idea to put out 2 sets of the same thing at the same time. We complained about that a little bit to the extent they had 2 R2-D2s on the shelf right now, right next to each other.
It's kind of
now it looks like they're doing the same thing here.
Yeah, but I guess because it's at different, so in their eyes, it's at different age groups. It's for different demographics. But like when I first saw the leaked photo of the big one, I was like, wow, it's an impressive design. It's done really well. And then I thought that this was what they made of it, and I was like, why?
And they went down to this. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's 2 of them.
Yeah. So here's the little one, and Mark will show us the other one. So is this R2 Simba 2? This is like the mini R2D2.
I mean,
we also have Simba Simbo.
You know what was awful, and you guys showed it last week, the 3-in-1 dinosaurs.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Oh my atrociousness.
That is such a step back from the Red Fox. And some of them are going to be hits, some are going to be misses. Yeah. But they had a number of animal sets that came out that were getting better and better. They had the tiger, which was great. They had the giraffe, which was great. They had the red fox, which was great. And then all of a sudden, we end up with that stinky dinosaur set. I was quite disappointed in it.
Well, with 3-in-1s, you're going to get one nice build, and then maybe you get a second good one in there because it's a 3-in-1. But
yeah.
It's that dinosaur one was, all of them were just bad.
I think the T-Rex was the best of the 3, and that's best doesn't necessarily mean good, right? So, all right, Mark, you're back. Can you bring up the Simba on your side there?
Yeah, I think so. I thought I had it shared. Oh yes, I do. Hold on 1 second. There it is.
Yeah, here it comes.
And there it is.
This appears to be the big guy version.
Yeah, let's solo this.
People are complaining about his face, but I don't see what they're talking about. I mean, I know it's subjective. All art is subjective, but
yeah,
I guess it's version with the mouth open. Yeah, I think maybe it's the angle of the picture.
Yeah, because from the side, the one on the right, it doesn't look bad. The one on the left, it's the angle. It looks like he has like a double chin.
I mean, this is so much. Well, I think it's just his little. Oh yeah, you're right. The one on the left does make it look like.
Yeah.
Oh, that is definitely just perspective.
Yeah.
It's like I like the fact. I'm pretty sure I'm right here. I know we don't do this, but I'm pretty sure this is light bright orange, and there's a lot of new molds in that. Correct?
Yeah, that's what it appears to be.
You like the burnt orange, right? You're a fan of the burnt orange? Rick?
Oh, I like the dark orange. I like the new tomato soup, but I like light bright orange too.
Yeah.
For various things. I think it works really well for the color for the lion cub.
Kind of wondering what's making this tail. I can see that there's like the bush piece.
Yep.
But like, what's making it bend?
I think it's over? that goofy horn piece that they used for the tree.
Yeah, the tree branch
on the medieval town square that we made fun of.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a few of them that link together, right?
I think it's just one of those plus the bush, because they already have kind of that curved, textured look to start out with. Let me see if I can pull one up here.
Yeah, please do, because I have no idea what you mean. But this is so much better. I am curious why they're making 2 versions of this.
Right. Yeah, that's what we were asking.
Spread the market out a little bit, but I think this one's fantastic, and I do believe that this is on Falcon Bricks, by the way. Let's see if we can find his logo real quick. Falcon Bricks does a lot of Lego news, and I do believe he's RLFM, recognized Lego Fan Media. So he does have this legally. I do believe they sent it to him. Nope. Whoops. Nope. Thanks to Good Bricks. This is where.
I mean, it could
this is where he got this.
2 of them out could cannibalize one or the other, but like they're different. Like I was saying, they're different age groups, and they're probably thinking it's different demographics, so at different price points.
I think you're right. But I think that must be it. Surprised that they didn't do that with Stitch.
Yeah. So here's the piece. Here.
Oh. Yeah, maybe that. Yes,
so
yes. It looks textured. It looks more textured.
Yeah, and then it's.
Yeah.
Good call. Hair on the left.
This also came in the Viking Village, and then the hats, of course, we saw in the Snow White set.
I didn't get the Viking set, and I should just because
that's a nice hairpiece.
It's still out there.
Yeah, I don't build many sets, but like if I do buy some, I try to build them for the build experience because you can always learn something and then use the parts for MOCs. But that's one that I should get because I was a big fan of the Viking shows, the series. It's a cool little set.
Yeah.
I think the little set is the size of one of the legs. I mean, that might very well be true.
They have a picture of the 2 of them together.
Monica says she thinks it's a different piece. I don't think so. I think that's the right piece, but who knows?
I saw a picture. Maybe it was on.
Yeah, you can see the segments on the
YouTube, but they.
If you go back to the picture,
in the oh, sorry, in the here, yeah, over here.
This on the right, yeah, you can see the segments. I think he's right.
Definitely, I think so too. In the instructions for this, they have the 2 of them together. They show both sets in the instructions. It is a bush for the tail. It's a brown bush. Can I bring up a picture of the Garganto set? Can we? Is that leaked?
I don't even know.
I'll check. I'll see. Lego Gargantos. I don't think so. I don't see it anywhere. The Gargantos Showdown from Marvel?
Is that the big eyeball?
Yeah. Looks like it. It's on Amazon?
I wanted to get the printed tile from that one. Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind. Here it is. Oh, the brown piece. I thought you were talking about the light bright orange piece. No, we were talking about the other brown piece for the tail. So now I think Monica's on board. Yeah, so I think she's talking about these parts for some of the tail segments that are the arm.
Oh, that definitely is there.
Yeah.
For the tail, this makes the tail in bright light orange. Right. And it looked like there was a bunch of like the 1x2 pin connectors into a horn, which I don't see a horn on here, into that piece. Well, no, it would have been this.
It's one of these. It's like the middle segment.
Yeah, where'd he go?
Before the elephant nose.
This the one thing about this set that you're showing the Marvel, I got so happy. The molded capes, and they started doing them in Dreams. I love a molded cape.
Yeah.
I want more, especially in Star Wars, but they'll never do it because of the pricing, the licensing fees. I mean, they might.
The cost is already too high.
Yeah, it depends on the budget of the set, but I would love, because I always buy aftermarket ones, and on my MOCs, I put them on there. I'm just obsessed with molded capes. I don't know why.
There was a guy like in the early 2000s who was making like little like pleather trench coats for minifigures. I bought a few of them. I don't know what ever happened to them. They were a pain in the butt to put together. So I probably just gave up.
I just don't like the starchy capes. Like a good cloth cape or preferably a molded cape. Those starchy ones, I don't. Plus, if you put a bunch of figures in a bin like I do, it'll get all destroyed. And when I'm sifting through to find stuff for MOCs, so those capes just get ruined. So half the time I don't even put them on. I just have a bag of capes that I keep in a bag of stickers. Like I never put stickers on sets, but that's because I tear them all down. So
yeah,
Good old bag of capes.
same.
yeah, I have a huge bag of capes. A big bag of capes. I should wear a trench coat. Like, hey kid, just open it up. I got just capes, and they're like, okay.
I don't know about that.
The cape
that might get you kicked out of an expo or two. So I'm just going to bring this up real quick. Let me see if I can switch my sharing screen because I think our next topic is Stud Sidious finally.
Yeah, well, one more thing. We know we
One more thing.
We know we didn't mention it,
Mhm.
but they did release a teaser today for Bauer.
Oh, they did.
They did. It still hasn't shown an image of the set. Instead, it was a black brick that someone touched, like touching the ring, that showed a flash of the eye.
The eye, yeah.
And they also, I believe, we're pretty sure now that a gift with purchase for that is going to be a Fell Beast.
Yes, that's what I keep hearing.
So that's what we're hearing. I think the announcement is going to be on the 15th, so that will be Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Tuesday for us, maybe Wednesday for Bill, and I don't know.
What is the gift of purchase going to be?
One of those flying dragons that the Nazgul fly on, the Fell Beast, or the Nazgul. Maybe that's what they're even called. I don't
That's
remember.
a gift with purchase. That'd be small then.
They look like I don't know
the decently sized.
Gift with purchase is getting bigger.
Yeah. Like look at the Gringotts.
Yeah.
Mindset and other things.
It's a pretty big. That's a pretty big character.
It looks like a lamprey with wings.
Yeah. Lampreys are.
We'll see.
I know.
That's what the theory is. That's what we're getting.
I'm just glad Peter Jackson came out of Lord of the Rings retirement and he's making this new Gollum live action movie for 2026 supposedly.
I didn't know this.
You didn't know that? Yeah, they're doing the trilogy. Andy Serkis is directing them, but Peter Jackson is gonna be in charge, and they work good together, those two. So there's the animated Lord of the Rings. The Battle of the Rohirrim comes out in this fall, which looks pretty good. It's animated, and then
is there
the Gollum series, and then the Gollum series comes out in like a couple years.
Is there a Gollum series of books?
No, this is supposedly going to be about in the movie Lord of the Rings where they're chasing down Gollum and Gandalf's trying to get to him before what's his face Sauron does.
Sauron.
That's what it's going to be like that just expanded out in the three trilogy supposedly.
Interesting.
Yeah, like the search
didn't work out so well with The Hobbit, so we'll see how that goes.
I actually, I know there's not popular opinion, but I like those movies more than I love the Lord of the Rings films. I love them, but I just like the dwarves though, and there was a lot of the
same.
So that's why I like the Hobbit better.
This is not promising. She's on top says that there's a paragraph in the books.
That's how you're gonna make a trilogy. And that's the whole joke, right? Is The Hobbit was this thick and it got a trilogy. Lord of the Rings was 3 books less thick, also just got a trilogy. So yeah.
I mean,
the trilogy could just be the first movie is about that part of Gollum, and then they move on. I'm not sure, but that's just what I heard.
I hope so. I mean, because the first Hobbit movie was so good because it was just so fun to see all that with Peter Jackson directing it all.
Yeah.
And then it moved on to the second and third, and they brought in the 5 armies, and I was like,
I'm just glad
gory on the extended versions too.
I'm just
glad. So you're glad what? Sorry.
That he's coming back, that Peter, because he said he's done with it, and I'm just glad to see him coming back because the Rings of Power was good, but and they didn't have all the proper licensing. They didn't own enough to really do what should have been done, but it wasn't horrible. I want from Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings.
Well, season 2 is coming out in July for Rings of Power.
Yeah, they keep putting it out right when the Game of Thrones.
They're trying to compete with Game of Thrones.
Yeah, they keep putting it out when Game of Thrones comes out.
Monica Berry update from her bulk lot. She has an Ninjago Kai fighter, only missing 3 pieces.
I would love Game of Thrones Lego sets. It'll never happen, obviously.
I know, right? It's a little bit out of the age range. Even the 16 plus, I don't think they would do it. So Sean's in the house. Hey, Sean, how are you? We got your we poached your artist. And so with that, let's go ahead and take a look at what Stud has so far designed for us here at Think Outside the Blocks. Ben, is this the first time you've seen this?
I thought I saw it briefly once. First time I'm really getting to take it in, though. We've got ourselves a beautiful Fabuland Cub here for Brickworld Chicago. Very dreamy shirt, I'll say.
I did the bear for the Chicago, the Cubs, the Bears. Even though I know Mark's a Sox fan, it just fit the.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I got into graphic design because I was a graffiti artist. I grew up like just outside the Bronx during like the hype of when graffiti art was like I was in it. That's how I became. So I'm really into typography, and that Fabuland stuff was hard, man. It looked so simple. It was one of the most challenging things I had to do was that Fabuland getting it to say Brickworld because it's not a font. You have to like. I had to basically cut apart the Fabuland logo and redraw it. Like it was a pain in the butt.
And that's why like it is so hard to recreate that font because it's like it's not even like what do you call it? It's not proportional. The letters are not proportional to each other. But I'm really excited about what you just said because street art is a huge part of Chicago. And so we've been talking about that font that you used for Chicago. And it kind of reminded me of the Cheers logo, that show from the 80s with Ted Danson and Shelley Long.
Yeah.
That people were, and Rhea Perlman and, lots of other people, John Ratzenberger. What about a street art font for Chicago?
Yeah, I mean, I could do that too. I mean,
I think that'd be perfect. I think this is great. I love that Dawn said she thought it was an otter because it's also like that's where the entire like hairy men classification in the gay community starts is with bears. That's why I'm an otter because I'm not as big as a bear, so I'm an otter. So I do like that. There's the association there with the it's a bear, it's an otter. It's part of that. That's huge for me. I love this so much.
Is there a Fabuland otter? Do they have?
There's not. The closest we have is the walrus, and that's like why our members have one of the. That's why our members have one of the emoticons. I'm sorry, emoticons. How old am I? Emojis that they can use by being a member is the walrus for the otter. Let me see if I can find my walrus. I know I have one handy. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
I also did the one without the bear, with just the Brickworld and the Fabuland and the clouds for because they could take the clouds out and just put it on different color shirts if people wanted a different color shirt. It doesn't have to be light blue.
I was say I would take this image down and grab the other one, but it has both of our phone numbers behind that picture. That was like I had a moment of panic when I brought this up because I was like, oh my god, we just exchanged phone numbers. Oh, here I can do this. So hold on one second.
I mean, and people can envision it. The bear's just gone, and it's like it just says Brickworld with the clouds. But like I'm really into typography. That was always my specialty when I worked at places because they knew I was a graffiti writer. They would be like, he does the logos. But it was, and I thought, I'm like, oh, fabulous! It's such a simple logo. I'm gonna bang this out. It was a pain in the butt, dude. Trust me.
It is such a pain. The one time I used it just to say Fabuland on something, I did the image map tracing in Illustrator because I'm like I'm done. I cannot sit here and try to do like the anchor points and try to like make it all great. But I think I really do like the one with the bear head in it, and I think there's a lot more we can come up with to do for Brickworld and or the live stream. But I know that you're spread pretty thin. So I just unprompted, the fact that you came up with this is beautiful.
Yeah, no, I mean I could always squeeze stuff in. It's not a big deal. Like that's what I keep the list at bay. I'm not like how Kevin Hinkle was, where he just keeps taking on people. I'm always telling people no, because I have enough going on with Sean, my own stuff. I own 2 clothing lines, and then this Etsy store. So
yes,
I'm juggling 2 clothing lines, an Etsy store, which that's why I never really promote the Etsy store. I just really do stuff for people I'm friends with, like Sean, you, like, and that. But I can always squeeze stuff in, like that. I like brainstorming with people. So if you have other ideas, just let me know, and I'll.
Yeah, can you make us one of these?
What?
One of these.
Medieval hoodie.
Or one of these.
Yeah. Oh, you like have the graphics of the like a tunic, like a Lego tunic, like a torso print.
Yeah, it's gotta be
okay.
this guy. Oh, now
He must have missed.
started.
He must have missed that that episode.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I don't know
Ron
if I
Smith. Ron Smith says, "As a bear," and now I love Ron Smith. Love the one with the bear and love Fabuland. Yes, as an otter, I love the bear too, and as a Fabuland fan, yes, 100%. Love this.
I was thinking of which character am I going to do, and then I was like, well, it's Chicago. I'll just do the bear. So
No, it's perfect.
even
No,
though
it's
when
fantastic.
I God, they call me a bear. So
Of course, of course. Yeah, I know plenty of places I can bring you in and they'd be like, "Oh, bear." But I'm a huge Bears fan. Like as much as it hurts to be one, I will always love the Bears. I was there in 1985 when they had their insane run, and I've just loved football ever since.
Trust me, I'm a Raiders fan. I know pain. I'm a Raiders fan, dude. They used to be glorious, and they fell apart.
Yeah, we've only had it together 1 year of the entire dynasty, so or the entire history. Never had a dynasty. Not the Bears. No, they haven't.
So here's our medieval hoodie. When this first came out, I was torching this torso. I was torching this torso because I said it looked like a medieval hoodie, kind of like a drawstring hoodie here, with the two laces with the knots on them. And Mark was like, you're a moron. It's a lace-up tunic. I'm like, I know what it's supposed to be. I'm just telling you, it looks like a medieval hoodie. So there, you've got some inspiration for our medieval hoodie right there.
Yeah. No, I could definitely. That's the GWP that came with the town square.
No, this was just in the town square set itself.
Yeah, it's just like a small corner part.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, look, there are trees. What? Amy Schultz was at the 85 Bears game. Her dad had season tickets. She went to the Super Bowl. Oh.
Was that
oh my God.
Season with Fridge Perry.
Refrigerator Perry, Walter Payton, Willie Gault, Mike Singletary, Jim McMahon.
McMahon.
The Junkyard Dogs.
The fans hated on McMahon for a while because he did some crazy stuff, but I've always liked him. In the 80s, he had that short mullet, that fade mullet, and he wore the headband all the time and always had uni glasses on, dude.
You know, the entire thing was they were just there to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
The thing that made me mad too is the Raiders then won the Super Bowl right after them, and then they tried to do a Super Bowl shuffle, and I was like, "You guys can't do a Super Bowl." So even though I'm a Raiders fan, I was like, "You can't do another come on!" Now you guys are making this trendy, dude. No, that upset me.
Yeah.
Speaking of record players, we had the 45 of Super Bowl shuffle, and we played the living Mega Blocks out of that thing over and over and over again. We knew every word to it.
I played in a hardcore band when I was in my teenage years into college, and 45s are what we would record on. Everyone in the hardcore music scene, because it's cheap and people would swap records. And this was in the era of CDs and everything, cassettes, and we were still making punk bands and hardcore bands would make 45s.
Yes,
they just would. So.
It's I read something recently. It was maybe it was a tweet. And it said something like at one point in your life you burned your last CD, but you haven't listened to your last vinyl yet.
We would do cool ones too. I had a translucent purple one. We did a marble translucent purple and clear. We made some cool 45s when I was in the band.
I think, by the way, Amy Schultz, they sold the 45 at the games, so it was kind of the only format they were producing it in. I don't remember there being a cassette because we never listened to it in the car. We need to get some animator friends in here because we definitely need a Think Outside the Block shuffle. So we need Sean. What's that?
Those Fabuland shirts too. At first, because I was just gonna make one as a gift for you, and then I told you a long time ago, and I got super busy in my health issues, so it took me a while to do it. But I was I don't think people are gonna want them. I know people would want Brickworld shirts, but I didn't think people would want a Fabuland one. It was just because you loved it. I was like, oh, I'll just do this for him. But people just heard about it. And they're like, I want one. So they're like, okay. I want one, fine.
100%. Oh, but Amy actually was going to probably Musicland back then in maybe Orland Square Mall, or Lincoln. What was it? Anyway, I was going to get lost in a Midwest nostalgia there. Shall we move on with
Yeah.
who Stud Sidious is and what he thinks of our lifestyle shots? I more want to hear just a little biography about. Yeah, tell us some of this experience you had working on lifestyle shots in the first place.
So I first started working at Lego because my professor she worked at ESPN and she worked at one professor worked at ESPN, one worked at Lego. So I started interning at ESPN and then I interned at Lego a little bit while I was still in college. And then they liked that I could do typography. They liked my graffiti background. Yeah. But I was more of a marketing graphic. The Connecticut office you do a lot more of the marketing stuff than you do like packaging and minifigs and stuff. Sometimes you'd get that stuff in Connecticut office, like overflow. There would be too much in Denmark. Back then, in Denmark, they needed graphic designers at the time, so they would send us that work. So I would get to do that too, but a lot of it was like the ads and like marketing materials. So it was a lot of lifestyle shots, and they were cheap back then because technology was also different. But like I said, they would come to me and be like, "Well, we can't do a photo shoot. We don't have the money, so go buy a stock photo of like a biracial person of this and that and like all this impossible stuff." And they'd be like, and then just Photoshop it into this scene. And I'd be like, dude, the lighting is all like, it's two different light sources. Like they would want the impossible for nothing. Like, which most clients want that.
Right. Yes. But when it comes to art, people are like, can't you just give it to me for free?
Yeah. I get that all the time too. But they always wanted like one thing I must say though is they were very inclusive. They always wanted like they were pushing to have girls in the stuff and like they were always good about that. But then it would get shot down from above. I'd do all these options and then they'd be like, nope. Someone above would say, no, we're gonna go back to just boys. And so
interesting.
This was a long time ago. I mean, I worked there over like Bionicle was just hitting and like Star Wars just became a theme. Like I was
1999.
A long time. Yeah, it was like in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And but then also after I left Lego, because they wanted me to go to Denmark and I didn't want to move to I was a young designer. I lived near New York City. I was like, dude, I want to go to New York City. You know, like I want to work on lots of stuff. And because everyone always asks, like, why did you quit? You're an AFO. Why did you quit Lego? But back then, I wanted to have the experience of working on a ton of brands, and an ad agency is where you don't just work on one brand; you work on a bunch of brands. So I wanted to do that, and they kept asking me, "Can you go to Denmark? Can you go to Denmark?"
Were you an AFOL before that?
I always, I never had Dark Age. I always had, but I wasn't as much into it. Like I went through like a gray age, but I always, being a creative and being in ad agencies and creative agencies, there was always Lego on people's desks, even when I didn't work at Lego. So I always would.
That's cool.
On lunch break, we would go into the toy stores and buy stuff for our offices and our cubicles. And so I always loved Lego. I was always obsessed with minifigures. And but working there was the cool thing too. Some of the cubicles were actually made out of Lego, which was pretty rad. They were like big Lego cubicles, like castles.
Really,
yeah, it was really cool. Some of them, but it was the lifestyle shots were always annoying because they wanted you to. They never took photo shoots. Once in a blue moon, you get the budget to do an actual photo shoot. And now I see everyone just makes fun of all these lifestyle shots, which I find funny as well. But in my head, I'm like, geez, I wish I had the budget to do that when I was working there. Because I was a young designer, too. I was in the bottom of the chain. Like,
as much as I make fun of them, like, I really do appreciate, like, like you said, they're going for diversity.
Yeah.
And B, they're genuine. They're there. They're obviously putting the work into them. They're a little cheesy. But they're definitely trying to like communicate the community aspect of Lego.
The cheesiness comes into it though. I always defend the designers.
Oh dear Lord.
The cheesiness comes in because there's too many cooks in the kitchen, and a brand manager or an account rep will come in and say, do this, add this, and then there's a million conflicting opinions, and the designer has to show all of it, and that's how they can kind of go down.
I'm sure now they're like, go to IKEA and get a dresser. Yeah. we put up with yes.
Explain
We
this
put up with a
one.
lot of that.
Oh my god. Caption this. Yeah. Oh my god.
This one's my favorite bad lifestyle shot.
At Legoland, we put up with that a lot. We had like just so many cooks in the kitchen. I was. Go ahead.
Those photo shoots too. They cost a lot of money. Like they'll be there for a whole day. So and they'll you're seeing one shot out of like taking 150. You know, and then they retouch them and all that stuff. There's a whole process that goes into it, but the shoots are very interesting. They're tiresome because you're there a lot. Like, well, they're long shoots usually, but it's that those cooks in the kitchen, like you said, that's how these things can go down the cheesy route because there's creatives and then there's the account side when you work as a professional designer, and you have to listen to the account side, but you always fight and give your opinion and say, hey, I'm the creative, I recommend this, but from above there'll always be some pushback, and you have to like debate and kind of argue about it, and so then you end up compromising, and that's where the cheesiness can happen when you have to compromise.
And
so my
experience was very similar because like it wasn't just like the accounts, it was like legal and PR had different takes on what the accounts wanted. Yes.
Well, that's the thing that sucks is you have these battles with the account reps and the brand managers, and you finally come to a conclusion, and then it goes to legal. Then you do the legal dance, and then they change it again, and you're like, ah! It's a. And
sometimes legal is like start over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because there's way too many problems. Yeah.
It's like
Ben,
you get it. You've been through it.
Well, I mean, as much as we've ripped lifestyle shots and it's sort of just this idea like Lego needs to show you how to play with your Lego, right? And some of it's just so ridiculous, but it's interesting to hear that these lifestyle shots are significantly better in some sense of the word than the ones you had to work on because you weren't even getting a photo shoot. Instead, you just had to deal with photoshopping in some image, getting it scaled right, doing all that stuff to a stock image that you bought for, however much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's very interesting. And
sometimes we would get photo shoots, sometimes we would, but that was more for like the packaging shots and like the bigger projects. They didn't put that, which is weird. They should have put that much emphasis on the marketing as well. But some things they did, just depending on the budget of the size of the project. But like you said, the creative always would push for something, and then it would get changed from above. So like what you're saying is they have to show like the account rep or the brand manager would be like, we want people to know that you could do this, 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 and this. And the designer would sit there and be like, come on, that's implied. We know that they know what they're looking at. We don't have to hold their hand. You don't have to hold their hand visually and show all that stuff. You're muddying up this whole concept. So that happens a lot.
Yeah, that sort of almost required shot where there are parts of it big chunks of it taken off. It's like, if you don't know what Lego is, why are you even looking at this? How are you getting to the lifestyle shot going through lego.com and you don't know it's a building set? Like, what's going on?
Well, plus, there's so many. You'd probably meet one person out of 10 that doesn't know what Lego is. Honestly, like, even people that aren't into it, they know it's such an iconic brand, and like everyone's childhood, even if you couldn't afford it, you still saw it and knew it was what it is. So it's not like people. And sometimes the non-creative people in those companies, they feel that everything has to be explained literally, and creative people don't feel like that. We're like, well, we can do it this way, and we can creatively say that. You don't have to be so literal, and that's where the butting of the heads happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can just do take the route that Mark and I did. We definitely did 100% actual
I love
shoots,
those.
Yes.
Traveling to the locations, making sure that it was completely legit, getting to the ISS, getting my MD so I could do that tainted shot. I mean, we We did all of that. We did it the right way, I think, Stud, as you would think.
Yeah.
With the actual photo shoot, so we didn't have to deal with any of this nonsense.
Yeah, I think this is a great point from Amy Schultz. It's insane that there are so very many people involved in creating a set from start to finish. And by the way, real quick, Amy Schultz is from the north side. For some reason, I just put you in my head as soon as you said you went to the Bears games. I was like, Southsider. I don't know why I thought that, but it's okay. It's okay. I forgive you. Exactly. Monica Berry says those partially built pics are helpful when you're going through a bulk lot, though. Good to know. Proof of Aliens, the person who says who or what is a Lego, right? Yeah, you're definitely an AI bot.
What is Legos? Yes.
So Stud, we were hoping that we can get some critical feedback from you as a designer of lifestyle shots on the lifestyle shots that we were we not only started, but we also art directed, and we were the client. So Ben, I actually don't have them. Are you able to pull those up so that we can take a look at these with Stud?
Yeah, I can pull up the slideshow we did for our disclaimers. Here, can we full screen that here?
Yes. By the way, Amy Schultz thanks me for the grace, which made me laugh out loud. I love it.
Yeah.
Extra Bricks does not trust those people at all who don't know what a Lego is.
Yeah,
I love that castle.
A Lego brick.
So here we go. Here's our first one.
By the way, I love the castle build. I love that build.
Yeah, this one actually just popped up on Brothers Brick
genius?
today. So that was surprising since I posted this like a month ago.
What is the top section of those castles? What are those called? The those little columns that come off. Isn't there a name for those?
Yes, the cornelations, or there's another word for them. That part starts with a C.
That part you used on the top, is that the one that kind of has like the hollow?
Crenellations.
Crenellations. Yeah, that's got that's the 45-degree kind of roof joining piece.
Yeah.
The double convex
inverted. Yeah. I love
roof tile. Yeah.
Crenellations. Yes. Thank you for that.
But what I love.
Thank you, Reed.
The art direction of this is the Cathedral Victorian Castle thing. The set that you guys are on is amazing. Is that a couch? That's a couch in that couch.
Oh,
yes.
That couch?
Yes, that's my living room. That's my living room. We took that there.
Yeah, this is where Mark lives.
The lighting is pouring through the windows of those Victorian style.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think of all the lifestyle shots, this one was our favorite.
I believe they're Byzantine.
Yeah, Byzantine.
Yeah,
they're almost elfish.
It's cropped, but I'm sure Ben is in a perfect taint position as well. But it's cropped, so you can't.
I'm checking out the taint of that tree. Yeah,
100%.
Yes, tree taint.
No, I think you meant you.
There's some tree taint going on there for sure.
Yeah, I think Extra Bricks is right. I think Ben, you and I as models, we nailed this part of it.
This
unfiltered real emotion.
Yes.
And also, the excitement and emotion in your face is amazing as well. Like Ben has the seriousness of.
Oh, thank you.
You got the full range. There's the seriousness of I'm building here, and then there's we're building. Look what we can do.
Yeah. If you want, you can totally put this figure in place.
It's like the amazement of I can actually click these bricks together. Wow.
Yeah.
I was just happy that he had a cape.
Yeah.
That's where my thought process was.
I think that's one of the soft capes too. On the red cape there. So
yeah, unfortunately,
big fancy red cape, the soft one.
And the pink Brickworld shirt.
Not the starchy one.
The pink Brickworld shirt is very popular too. So
that made a lot of people happy. Yes.
Hey, you know what? They're actually available right now for pre-purchase on your registration. If you're registered for Brickworld Chicago, you can go buy that shirt.
Wow, who wouldn't? So yeah, I mean,
we're going to announce that on Tuesday. Exactly.
This lifestyle shot has a lot of nice feedback. Let's see if we can find one that maybe Stud's got some other opinions on. How about this one? This one's maybe not maybe not as well shot. but it does. I do like the joy up above the fireplace there.
Sorry, I love this.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys are actually in a winter village set like that.
Yes.
Of a winter village. The build is what that looks like.
Yeah.
I can smell that cinnamon and apples and the hot cocoa in the kitchen and the amazement. It's just great. But I gotta say, for Mark, the hair is always hard to silhouette and Photoshop out the edges of hair. It's like,
isn't it so hard? Especially my hair.
Yeah.
Such a pain
I don't know what you're talking about.
I have a cowlick.
At all.
Yeah, I have cowlicks too, but mine are.
I wish it would have been blended a little bit. Yeah.
I have like one here and here on either side. Like I have.
I am dead here.
You are so nervous that because we know what the disclaimer was. A professional driver, closed course. We're afraid that Gotham City police car is going to crash in here and make a big old mess.
And this is fancy.
It's been suggested though. Go ahead.
Fancy winter village too, because look at the bronze lampshade.
Oh yes.
The giant clock, the giant wrought iron clock face on the wall. I mean, this is fancy winter village.
Yeah. We went to IKEA,
and you can see that the clock's got like a reindeer in the middle of it there too. It's very wintry.
What's that GCP right behind the set under Mark's arm, like his forearm?
That was a gift with purchase. That was the blimp Gotham City gift with purchase.
Yeah, I thought it was a blimp. It was crop.
Got to get that gift with purchase in there. The only problem with taking anything off of this particular Lego creation is the repercussions. The person who built this, I'd say, is scrappy. He might not look tough, but I have a feeling that he's a dirty fighter. That's sort of my impression. So
he is.
Yeah, we made sure not to go too far with this. So,
yeah.
I mean, we moved it, all the way to the Winter Village, but we didn't touch it in any other way.
Are those camo shorts too, Ben?
They are.
I love camo. I love good camo. You get a plus for that too.
Yeah, and as you'll see, we changed outfits. We can't be wearing the same outfit. It was a completely different day, completely different location. So let's see here.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, here we go. Here's our next one.
Oh, this one with the nipple squeeze, yeah. I didn't know that Rhino had such.
Yes, exactly.
Of course he does.
Voluptuous nipples is the term you're looking for.
And it didn't. I mean, for them to let you rent out the museum for the shoot must have been really expensive.
It was really expensive.
Yes.
Yes.
Incredibly so.
So if you were going to recreate this shot, what do you think would be in the brief from Lego that would say, this is what we want? What kind of description would they give you?
Well, that's another thing we didn't touch on was the good old briefs, getting briefs. Oh man. Oh. That is the I don't know. I'm kind of stuck with that because briefs can either be like a novel long or some people just wouldn't write them, and that was famous for big wing managers would be like they wouldn't write a brief, and then they would complain when you give them something. It's like, well, you didn't write a brief, you lazy bastard. You didn't write one. So what are you like? And now you're getting mad like you didn't explain anything. So you run in circles. So.
Yeah, so this brief that we got said this build is obviously fine art. Show people that it is fine art, but also show that because it is a Lego toy, you are allowed to touch it.
Yeah,
the only problem was where Mark chose to touch it was just terrifying me.
Yeah.
So they want the fine art aspect, but with a touch of playful.
Yes. I think that's what the brief said. Yes.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that Ben had nipple trauma.
No, I did.
Yeah.
I was like, no, don't do that. So that's just too far. All right.
I love.
Then the ISS.
This was free because they wanted us there because the content we're creating it caught NASA's attention. So they
Yeah,
flew us up there for free. So this actually wasn't too expensive.
yeah, there
Did
was
you
a
guys
lot
have-
of debate about whether or not we should bring a space mock to space or a castle mock to space. And I believe I said, well, it would only make sense if we would bring a castle mock to space. It's the only thing that we could possibly do. So this happened to be the one we brought up there, and truly, this is a space
Yeah.
castle now.
And yeah, I know that at the end of the shoot, they let you put on Red
Yeah.
Bull classic spacesuits and jump out. They let you do the. Did you guys ever see that the Red Bull video where the guy jumps out of like he's in the upper atmosphere and he jumps out?
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
So they gave
Yeah,
you,
he did the free fall.
yeah.
Like
At the end of the shoot, they gave you guys
the world's longest free fall.
yeah. At the end of the shoot, they gave you guys classic spacesuits with Red Bull logos and let you jump out.
That would be interesting. I don't know how we get the mock
100%.
down there though, because
We have pictures of that.
Yeah.
I think this brief just said two
Yeah.
words.
We didn't want
space,
like
space
Space
castle.
Yeah. Space castle. Yeah. So this is the problem, right? The original brief that said Space Castle. That's how we got Nexo Knights. But this is our attempt to redeem the Space Castle brief
right.
by just building a castle in space. Let's see. Oh yes. This shot. Of all the pictures I think we took, this one might be. Oh, all right, that was noisy. This one might be
Sorry.
one of the more fun mocks that we got to experiment with. There's a lot of good swooshing going on here, but this one's in a space-themed bedroom. This is maybe more along what Lego would actually be into.
Yeah.
So here it is.
Yeah, definitely the space bedroom right off the rip. The 80s Star Wars sheets weren't available; they were retired, so you guys had to go with the just the plain solar system action. But this is your average kid's space bedroom.
That's my bedroom.
Yeah, it is. It's Mark's bedroom.
I mean, I had clouds painted on my walls as a kid with airplanes hanging from the ceiling, so I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I think of all the shots, this one might be the most Lego lifestyle-y. We've got the kids touching and playing in the bedroom. Like, yes, the kids can totally...
No, it definitely is. Like, with the background and everything, this is the most. This screams the most. Show them that it can be for kids, and they can use it at home.
There you go.
I'm swooshing.
You're swooshing. We're getting all the stuff in there.
I don't know. Telescope though. You need a telescope near that window.
Oh yeah.
We forgot. I don't know. I have one. I have my dad's.
That wasn't in the
brief.
Brief.
It should have been in there. It wasn't.
Brief.
It wasn't in my bedroom that day. It was out for cleaning.
I like this black tablecloth theme that you have going through all of them.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's very consistent. It ties them together.
Yeah.
Ties the campaign together.
Right. We couldn't get the rustic table like here. Here's the rustic table approach.
We're branding.
But we were like, no. We're going with the Brickworld black tablecloth. That's what we needed. That stand out from the other lifestyle shows.
That other one screams Lord of the Rings set and have like a pipe in the corner in the shadows just at you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this is for the Dungeons and Dragons set here.
Yeah.
Again, they've got the various modules pulled off. Like, look, you can actually play the game inside the set, unless you ask Jesse, because he'll tell you there ain't enough room to actually play Dungeons and Dragons in the Dungeons and Dragons set.
The brief for this says like 5 nerds actually playing the game, and it does need a Gandalf in the corner smoking a pipe, even if it is D&D.
They said give us the archetypes, and they said, well, what are the archetypes? We need a dude with a beard and a beanie. We need someone wearing flannel, and we need a chick with a shaved head.
Exactly, Sinead, hipster.
But we can't afford to pay the Gandalf licensing fees, so it's just going to be a hooded, bearded man smoking a pipe in the corner. Because we can't afford those licensing fees.
Yeah. So there we go. So here we are, and then let's see here. Oh, here we go. So here's your classic, partly disassembled shot. Again, costume change because completely different day.
Yep.
I think perhaps the living room here was it was a vibe, to say the least, when we did this.
This one, I think the brief said, show that when you're babysat by your hippie grandmother, she can buy you Lego. Have fun.
Yes, and lunch often.
And lunch often, yes. Show that creative Lego nerds also can play guitar. I don't know. There was a lot going on in this one for sure.
That's one funny thing I find about the new lifestyle shots are the random things that they put in the back, right? Like guitars, accordions. Like there's always something random.
Accordions.
There's always something weird in the shot where you're like, what were they thinking for the set design? Like, who said to do that?
Extra bricks, you remember the disclaimer and what it says in the background there. Were we in Morocco for this one? No.
No, Ben just...
As Stud said, this is my grandma's house.
Yeah, my grandma handmade all that stuff. I mean, that's classic.
Ben's grandma loves embroidery.
She does. Paige says we had a better D&D party in Milwaukee, and we probably had more nerd archetypes there too. I don't know.
I have footage of that.
Yeah.
One of the bullet points too on the brief said, "Make sure those mech legs are thick."
Make sure there's a viewable taint, I think it said.
Yeah, but here we are. It's broken down into pieces. This is definitely what Lego likes.
Yeah.
So show that you can reconstruct it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it said.
Look,
and of course, have the joy, right? All right, Reed.
Good night, Reed.
Needs more pillows.
Yes.
Yeah, less mech, more pillows.
Yeah, you should have pillows just stacked all the way up to the ceiling in the background. Just all homemade pillows.
Well, my grandma crochets a lot of pillows. I don't know what to say.
And it should say, sit long, talk much, build more.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. So is this a truth here? Was D&D created in Wisconsin?
I don't know. Which coast is Wisconsin on? That's what I want to know.
The third coast?
I do think it's Midwest because I just watched a documentary, which I highly recommend on Amazon, about the original D&D artists. It's an amazing documentary. Jesse, you should watch it if you haven't already. I think you probably have. But there's a documentary on Amazon Prime about the original D&D artists. I found it super interesting because it's like what we're discussing here. It was the artists talking about the creative process and how people from upstairs would say, "Don't make the ladies too sexy," and the guys would do it on purpose. And it was very interesting for me because I could relate to that stuff. But it's very good.
Google and Amy Schultz confirm Lake Geneva.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe Jesse's already checked it out. I also want to know, in this picture on the far right side, there seems to be some sort of weird time warpy issue right next to my arm that runs all the way down the side of this picture. I don't know how that got in there.
Oh yeah, the crop is off.
There was no crop. This is an actual shot. No,
well, no, you do still crop the actual shots. I mean,
that's true. That's true.
We debate over that too in the meetings.
I think there was a very interesting wall there that my arm's kind of hiding behind. Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then of course we have the classic, the taint examination. What do you think of this shot? This shot's, I don't know, disturbing?
Well, maybe? Yeah, but before we get into that, that's another thing I didn't discuss is every project, there would be 3 rounds of reviews. So you would have to sit through that torture 3 times of people debating on what should be done and art directing you. And then usually in the 3rd round, they're like, just go back to what you said the first time. We like what you did. So you for 3 rounds, and then they're like, oh, we liked your first one the best that you did.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Hey, Stud Sidious, this is what we used a lot. I actually trained my team to do this. When we would get feedback, I would say, okay, sit on this for 2 hours and then send the same thing back.
Yeah, I would pull that trick sometimes.
90% of the time it worked.
They didn't even realize. Like, yeah, it's just like, because it's funny how people that aren't hired to be creatives always want to play creative.
Yes.
And it's the most annoying thing about the job. And it's like, you can't sit there and yell at them and be like, I'm the one who went to school for it. I'm hired to be the creative. But it's kind of the truth. And like, you have to play there's a political dance you have to do.
Yes.
It's like, and a lot of them just aren't good artists. Like, so
Yeah.
they're just, and it's not a knock on them. They're just, some people aren't. Some people are like, I suck at accounting, you know, but I'm a talented artist. So like, it's, you know, everyone has their talent, and for some reason, brand managers and account reps always want to play designer, and sales guys. Oh my God, sales guys, like, there's an actual YouTube video of a bunch of graphic designers who made a band and a song called "Make the Logo Bigger," because that's all. Make the logo bigger. Make the logo bigger. Like, it's well, that's all they ever say. Make the logo.
It's like, I identified early that they were just trying to do like they were trying to validate their salary and be like, look, I'm managing this, so I'm going to ask for this change, and I'm like, that change is stupid. So I'll send them the same thing, and they'll be like, oh, thank you for listening to me, and I'm like, I didn't.
Yeah,
but you're welcome. Yeah,
I used to pull that trick. That's what people don't realize, and it's industry standard. Most places I've worked at, clients I've worked for, there's always 3 rounds of creative, and it's like,
yes,
it's usually like a month-long period on the project, and like every week or so you have the creative round, internal review, and then it goes to legal, and then you do that dance. But yeah, it's that trick is good. I always used to pull that trick once in a while.
Oh, it's so good
because they forget what they even said half the time, and
exactly.
They feel you stroke their ego, and they feel like they were listened to, and it's like, yeah, and I didn't do it.
Like, so I have a couple. I just wanted to. These were outtakes from one of our shoots. I just wanted to get your opinion on them, Stud. What do you think of this shot?
Ooh.
Yes.
Thought bubble. Ooh. I do love.
I'll get you one. There you go.
It's textured. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
And I love how you put the wings upside down. A lot of people don't do that on the behind the shield.
Oh, yeah.
Love that. And the little corner Technic connector, like, great part usage. I love that castle. Even though it's just a small little like spire type, I don't know the technical name for that. I love the build. I love it.
Yeah, this build came together pretty well. I'm kind of afraid I'm doing another one that's got this 2-tone look. I'm kind of like, I don't want to get stuck just doing 2-tone builds. But at the same time, it's, you know, this one was really fun.
Is that a hexagon shape?
They are hexagons, yes. So that was part of it too. Was I've done hexagons before, but I've never done them quite like this.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of going back to some of my old style, but bringing in some new techniques and new ideas.
I like when people do round builds, but sometimes they seem forced, like because the bricks naturally go that way. I know there's tricks to do it, and sometimes they look really good, but I prefer a hexagon castle like that. I prefer an angled castle.
Because you see more of those like that in real, real life.
Yeah, it's just my subjective taste. But like I said earlier too, like you're afraid of keep doing 2-tone, but like with rock work and everything, and like stone facades on buildings, it's my pet peeve when people don't do 2-tone because lights and highlights and lowlights. And I always see these people and they're like, everyone's like, oh, look how big that is. I'm like, yeah, but it has no true detail. There's no highlights and lowlights. They could have easily used 2 different tone on tone bricks and splashed a little bit of detail in there. It's like, it just looks like a blank wall. But
yeah, the blank wall, the big blank wall. I mean, when I do one color, I do try to add a lot more texture.
Yeah, at least do that. Yeah,
but yeah.
I mean, that's like with that little white ship I just made. Even though it's mostly white, I put a ton of texture into it on purpose.
Yes,
it's only white, so it's, I don't know, and it's all subjective. Obviously, it's subjective taste, but those things with tone on tone, highlights and lowlights are basic design principles. So
yes,
that's something a design professor would harp on me about. So it's just, I don't know. Like when I see people do that, I'm just like, yeah, you built it huge and it looks cool, but you should have done the fundamentals of design and added some highlights and lowlights in that thing. Like, it's not that hard. But
yeah, I don't know if you get this, Ben, but when people see my stuff, I hear a lot like, it looked good when I saw it from afar, and like when I got up to it and saw like all the detail you put in, I realized like how intricate it was. Like that sort of comment. You probably get that more than I do.
I mean, part of it, a lot of sometimes what I design doesn't look very complicated. And then even when you get close, it doesn't necessarily look complicated. But then when you start thinking, okay, that's a hexagon. Like, how is it built? It starts, or there's pinstriping. That's, one plate all the way around. How did you do that, right? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that from afar, people, I think, just say, oh, that's an interesting shape. And then they get up closer and say, oh, I don't know how I would do that. And that's fun for sure. But yeah,
that's why I always ask those questions, because I always want to learn. I'm more interested in how someone built it, than really like what it looks like. Even though I like what it looks like, obviously, I'm always interested in the process of how they did it, because you can always learn something, no matter how level of artist you are, how good of a designer you are. You can always learn something. That's why I still build sets sometimes, because I'll always learn a technique.
Yes,
you can always learn something.
Yeah, it's like if you think you know everything, just go ahead and quit. You won.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always stuff to learn. Monica Berry's live updates on the bulk lot she got. So yeah, 4204-1 has a spring. I don't know if she means like a natural spring or if there's a literal like a spring mechanism in it. Yeah, I'm checking it out right now. It is 4204.
Oh, I see. Do you have a picture of it?
I do.
Oh, great.
But before we get to that, because you know what this is like, here's the other, what's it called? Outtake we have.
My allergies are killing me.
Mine too.
I have a federal courthouse next door to me and they do tons of flowering trees, like tons of them. And it looks really nice, but every spring I can't open the windows because it drives me insane.
Similar problems here in Chicago.
It looks beautiful though, but all the flowering trees, they look really nice, but it's just
kills your head and your sinuses. How do we do with this shot here? This is another one of our outtakes.
I like the industrial the roof, like the exposed industrial roof look.
Yeah,
really clashes with the medieval. This is, I don't know if it's an ooh. This is an ah.
Yeah, you can really see my cracked teeth in this.
I think the real problem that Lego would have with this is the guy's in focus, not the Lego.
Yeah,
right? You got to reshoot this picture. We need the set in focus. He's joyful, but can he be joyful and blurry if the set is clear? That's the question.
I think the note would come back for sure. Like his nose is too big.
Also, can he be 5% Cherokee Indian, 3% Asian, Jewish, but converted to Catholicism, rides a unicycle, and knows how to juggle?
Strangely, Mark with all of those things. So,
and then I would look at them and be like, how do you visually show that? Who's going to know that? Like, obviously they wouldn't be that extreme, but sometimes you'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what did you just say? Like, what does that look like? I don't know.
Right.
Wow. Now, Edstead. Hey, I mean, if Mark chucked on his yarmulke and, was juggling a little on the side there, maybe it would have fit a little better.
So it's actually happened to me multiple times living in Chicago where people have stopped me on the street to ask me if I'm Jewish because we have the Hasids are going around and doing their, like, giving out their literature and like talking to people trying to build their community, and they've stopped me. I walk a lot, and it happens, and they say, "Excuse me, sir, are you Jewish?" And I'm like, "No, sorry." But it's a thing that I have learned to expect.
Well, no, I live around a lot of Hasidic Jewish neighborhoods. Lego Team B, that's how it is at advertising agencies. I'm not like joking. That's how they talk. They're very into demographics and they want specific things in photos. This is not like people that are snowflakes would not be able to handle working there. They wouldn't, because you're told some pretty crazy things. I've had a CEO of a candy company say some pretty racist things about a grape flavored candy in a meeting, and I was like, did he just say that? Like, but he was the head guy of the company, and he wanted what he wanted, you know, and like, but that's how it is. That's how it is. Yeah. It's advertising. They say some pretty crazy things in the background, like but they're studying all these analytics and demographics, and like, so they're very specific, you know, they are very specific. So that's how it is.
Well, Mark and I have both been forward in saying that we get and actually applaud that Lego is doing more inclusive things with minifigs in particular. And if you're doing that, you might as well have your models show that as well to the extent that you can. It doesn't mean that when it's really intentional and overbearing, it doesn't mean that it's not something we can comment on. I still think it's a good direction overall, but sometimes it's like, okay, you have to have 5 people in this picture. I need each one of them to have at least one of these traits, or you have to swap them out for someone else.
Since you're not doing it,
party that looks like that, maybe, I don't know, but they had to make sure to try to represent everybody.
And it's crazy because like the show Mad Men was really how it was back in the day, like the show Mad Men, and when I first started like 3 decades ago, a little over that, like you wouldn't see biracial people in ads. They wouldn't do it. You wouldn't even recommend doing it because they wouldn't let you do it. It's really evolved, and like people now want to do that. They want to show that. So and it's cool. It's a great thing. It's a good thing. But I'm just explaining the reality of how it really is in the advertising world, and that's how it was. The people that don't have thick skin that can't handle that behind the scenes. That's how it was. So.
Yeah. And I wish that they would put that diversity into the yellow minifigs, and just like, no matter what you thought from the beginning, like, this is where we are now, so just do it.
Yeah.
They're doing it with friends.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times the creative people push for that, though. They're always trying to get that stuff involved, and upper management or salespeople would like try to not do it, but it's getting better and better and better, obviously. But the world has changed a lot since then, so it's they're very, very specific about demographics and what they want to see.
So, Monica, the spring was part of this piece. The good old yellow crane bucket.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why there's a spring in there.
And the spring kept it open? Is that the case?
The spring would let you pinch it.
Kept it closed.
So you can close it on what you were picking up.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what that spring goes to, if you're wondering. So you should have the other pieces of this in there, and it should be a good pinching mechanism if you get it all back together.
Whatever happened to, they used to have springs and magnets and sets and like play features. Like they used to have little basketball players with the spring minifig legs, and some sets had magnets. And then they did those Space Mars sets with the tubes and the air pumps. You guys remember that, where the figure would get shot through the tube? Like,
yes,
they have stopped doing that stuff completely, which is strange.
Yeah, well, I think the magnets, rare earth magnets, I don't know if there's an expense issue to that too, but people would eat them. And if the magnets are strong enough, then they pinch your intestines and cause lots of damage. So I think those may have been out for those types of reasons. Some of the other features, I don't know. I mean, it feels like, I don't know if they border on gimmicky, but of course, they still do pneumatics and other things in Technic sets. So it's not like they're afraid of every type of function. But I don't know if it's gimmicks or safety or both. They revise the type of stud shooters that they have every now and again. Seems like they push a certain type of spring-loaded shooter for a while, and then they switch to some other type for a little while, and they stop completely for a while. So it's always kind of comes in waves, I guess. So
I have, speaking of swallowing magnets, I have an ironic story of, because I used to have to put the choking hazards and the legal copy on packaging and ads and everything. And
yes, I do it too.
I always get angry about the choking hazard. But
yeah,
as an adult, I would hold studs in my teeth and one time suck them down on accident. And I thought in my head, I'm like, I'm the idiot that used to put the choking hazard label on the package and I'm sucking down.
So we do like for Brickworld, we have the event exclusive set and the GBC workshop set. And I started putting that on the instructions and the box, just like, well, Lego does it on everything.
Yeah.
So let's do that too, just to be sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to cover your A with that. Yeah.
Yeah. At this point in the stream, we can say ass.
Yeah, well, they always just said COA, like the marketing.
CYA.
You love acronyms and CWA, CYA.
Yep.
The lawyers would always say that to me. COA. You know,
yeah. Accountants and lawyers love that term. CYA
loves acronyms. Like when I talk to Sean, I always, because he works in sales and marketing, and ACOB is an acronym. So it's like,
right?
I always tell him, I'm like, dude, I've had enough. I've had decades of acronyms, Sean. You're killing me here. But he's always got acronyms and the new slogans he's coming up with. It's like,
right.
My computer explode from the amount of slogans you come up with. I can't make art for all of them.
Our name doesn't acronym. Think outside the blocks. TATB.
TOTB is what I do when I do say it or want to say it as an acronym. It's TOTB.
TOTB. I like TOTB. TOTB. Yep. I think it works like that. So what do we have left in our run of show? Because it's getting very late and I'm very tired. And I had a couple drinks too. Sorry.
That happens. Okay, 4 weeks to Chicago. Anything, a little more than 4 weeks. Anything that people want to know about Chicago?
Yeah, well, we will be making a big announcement on Tuesday. I'm going to leave it right there.
Okay. So
we've had a lot of questions about things. And the announcement is coming up, and that is my entire day tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm going to wake up because it's been a very long weekend. But tomorrow's entire day is dedicated to making sure that we have that Tuesday announcement out for, I would say, 90% of the questions that we're getting. So
when you get that out of the way, too, give me a call so we can talk about.
Oh, hell yeah!
People are going to want to buy the shirts, and I can get them up on somewhere so people can get them before the expo.
Oh, hell yes! Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, we definitely. Yeah, that'll be part of my tomorrow.
Whenever you have time, because they take if someone orders one, it takes 2 to 5 business days. I mean, you've ordered from there, you know. Sometimes it's really quick. Sometimes it could take 5 days. Or if you order just before a weekend, it could take a little longer. But there's enough time to get them to people before the show, before the convention.
So as a continuation of that, and to answer Dawn's question, can we still order things? How? Well, if you followed the stream, which you're pretty much here every week, if you log into your CVent registration site, we have a number of items up for pre-order. And so those are items that you can order through your registration that you will get at a discount for being a registrant that you can pick up at the show. So, Stud, that's what we'll have to talk about tomorrow if there's a way to do that for the Fabulous shirt. But no need to answer now. You and I can talk about that tomorrow. But yes, there's a lot of new items that will be available soon, like the workshops, the improv show, the Fold concert. And it's, it's I love how many questions we're getting about it because we're way ahead of the schedule compared to last year. We're not ahead of schedule where we'd like to be, but there's a lot to put together before we get all of that out there, and we're changing our systems. So right now there's a bunch of stuff you can get. There's the pink Brickworld shirt that you see in the lifestyle shots. There's also a sky blue one with just the Brickworld logo. We're going to have artwork, t-shirts. We're going to have workshop signups. We're going to have pre-purchase merchandise like the drawstring backpacks, the water bottles, all sorts of things. Of course, the stuff from Brickshell cases. We did not get to our sponsors tonight, and I don't think we should. We only have 15 minutes before 3 hours, and I'm exhausted, and food is upstairs, and I have not eaten since 1 p.m. But there's all sorts of... really? Yikes.
That's my bulldog is sitting here giving me faces, and he's farting like a madman, so he's got to go outside.
Oh, I fed the puppy. I haven't fed myself. So, and I had some drinks in the meantime, so I'm like, what am I thinking? I don't know. How will the announcement be released? YouTube, Discord, it'll go directly through Cvent, so it'll come to you from Cvent as an email, and it should come from contactus@brickworld.com. Check your junk mail. If not, we will do our best to make announcements on Discord, Instagram, Facebook, maybe TikTok and Twitter if I have the time. But if you'd like, I will do my best to put all the information in something that we can post on YouTube as well. We want people to come to us on YouTube for information that's part of the brand. So maybe, but it takes a lot to make the YouTube videos. Crystal has just one question. Can we get an extension on due date for final mock cards? We always extend that deadline. We need the initial batch for printing to go in with your badge by the 15th, which is Wednesday. Yes. We do need to close it off at that point. We will reopen it shortly after that. I will tell you guys one thing. Printing new mock cards on site is the most stressful thing because they come in slowly, and we need to be on for that. You know, we need to be there and present and doing all the stuff we need to do to make the show run. So if you have an idea of something that you're going to bring and you're not sure if it's going to be done, I would very much appreciate it if you would just request the mock card. Worst case scenario, you can save that mock card for next year or throw it away or hand it to Ben and say, build this like we did with the goat boats. I know it sounds like waste to request something on paper that you're not going to use. But it would really help us if you just got that information to us as soon as possible, because there are so many moving parts to the convention that kind of taking our time to catch up with the later mock card requests it creates a lot of time for us to try to dedicate to that to us. And we would cut it off completely if we didn't have people who wanted their mocks identified and wrote their own. And I'm big on branding. I want everything to be branded the same. And we need to find a balance between that. So if you can just submit what you think you're going to bring, what you want to bring, and if they don't end up coming, we will recycle that. We'll make sure that it goes into some beautiful sort of...
I was going to ask you what you mean by printing, but you're talking about the mock cards, the display cards. So that's... Yeah. So I was like, what do you have to print? Like photos of the... But then it made sense. The description.
Yeah. So Lego Team B asks, have you been able to meet all display space requests? I don't know, because I have people who take care of that, and I have not met with them yet because we just closed the space requests and they're still going through them and asking clarifying questions. And they work very quickly once they have all the information that they need, once they see the initial display space requests. We have never turned people away. Doesn't mean we won't.
Did you change
but we'll let you know.
Did you change the garage sale thing? I know people are always excited about that, and it's always shifting.
No, it hasn't changed, but it's on notice because it's always been rough. There's always been that's when people go the craziest. So we're kind of keeping an eye on it. We're going to see how things go. We had someone ask us if we can do a second one, really, really wanted a second one during the week. And I'm like, let's make sure that we have the garage sale itself being run once.
Yeah. I've heard people ask they want more days and they want to say, I've heard people say that, but dude, I see this the door to get in the line. Like people, you're right, they go crazy. They get so excited. It's like, man, haven't you bought Lego before? Chill out, people. Like,
I'm this close. I'm this close to being like, we're never doing it again.
Yeah.
So once we get it down and it's smooth and people are calm and people are respectful, then maybe we'll talk about doing it more than once during the week. But it's a lot of stress on the staff. It's a lot of stress on our security.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stress on the volunteers who have agreed to run it for us, which is Reed and Michael Fredericks. And once we make sure that everyone is handling it with their best energy, then we'll think about expanding it. For now, if people didn't want it so badly, I wouldn't be doing it at all because it's crazy. Yeah, I saw the crowd and went, "Oh, help me! I'm tired. I don't want to go in there."
I grew up going to hardcore and punk shows, and I've seen crazy crowds, and that gets close to it.
Oh, I know.
And I was
That's
shocked.
exactly what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
I was in a video for Slipknot, and I was at the concert, and they said, "Hey, we've got our production team here, and we're gonna for our next video, we're gonna take one of these. We're gonna do a live shot. We want you to do this. Step 1." Everyone crouched down on the ground, and we're all in the mosh pit. And I'm like, everyone looked at each other like, we're not getting down on the ground. That's the last place you want to be in a mosh pit.
Oh, yeah, you'll get trampled.
Exactly, and that's what the garage sale feels like to me.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It's like everyone's crowding through the door. I have a funny Slipknot story, actually. I can't get into it, but basically the clown and I got into a fight because my cousin plays in the band Hatebreed, and they toured with them on Ozfest. So I was there backstage, and the clown was he was being a jerk, and he said something, and I was like, dude, you're not even a musician. You hit a keg with a baseball bat and a clown mask. He got so mad. I mean, they're a talented band, but that guy got really angry.
Yeah, it's like you dive off the speakers. Good job. The people catch you, they throw you back up on stage.
He's the Flavor Flav of the band. He's just the hype guy.
I wouldn't give him the Flavor Flav status.
He is a talented percussionist, but he just doesn't do it in the band for some reason. But anyways.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he actually is a talented drummer.
Really? Okay, good to know.
All right, this time with less identifying information here. To modify your registration, log in. Go to.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Modify registration. Then let me pull this off so I can make sure that you don't see a bunch of my stuff. After you click modify registration, at the very bottom of the page, there's this thing that says next or cancel. Don't hit cancel. Hit next.
Hit next.
And then when I hit next, here is what I get to see. It is the things that you can order. So Jungle Ruin set sold out. All this other
Brick badge also sold out.
Additional options here: drawstring backpack, water bottle, engraved brick, and then here we go. Here's some of the T-shirts that we're talking about here.
Yes, and unfortunately, we weren't able to list one product and have different options, so we couldn't give you the pink T-shirt, small through 4XL. We had to list each one separately. We're working on that.
Well, that's a pain in the butt.
I know. So
it's
not perfect, but we're changing it from the way that it used to be, which we felt was more imperfect than this, I guess. Yeah. So those, all of that will be there, and that's why we're working on it for an entire day, just to make sure it's communicated as well as it can be with the tools that we have right now. We're working on making that different for next year, so that it's an actual user-friendly, intuitive process. Yeah. It hasn't been that for a while.
I understand all that because that half my time isn't even designing the shirts. It's managing the websites and doing all that stuff and user experience. So
UX UI is not intuitive for designers or for third-party software creators, and that's what we're using this year.
Yeah.
And so we've had a lot of conversations with our third-party registration software where we're like, you guys just don't have what we need. Sorry. Oh, before we get to our favorite segments, we're going to do rants. We're going to do close call, right?
Yeah.
Bathroom break. Bye.
Okay.
Suckers.
I have never gone to the garage sale either. I guess for me,
It's a nightmare.
maybe there are things I could sell. Maybe there are things there that I'd be like, oh, that's cool. I want that. But I've got a Bricks and Minifigs store. I know I won't get the same return on selling a used set as I might, at the garage sale.
Yeah, people expect it cheap at the garage sale.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. Plus, the other issue I have is how am I going to get that stuff in my car when I'm already overflowing with MOCs? We already drive 2 cars, and I've got a lot of things that aren't designed to pack well. Mark does custom boxes and other things. To me, I guess I'm more like an old school programmer where I'm like, this isn't the most elegant code, but it works.
Yeah.
So it's just sitting on the floor of the car, but it doesn't move. And I just have to pull it out and put it on the table. I might just do that. So I don't have room for a lot of extra stuff.
If it's not broke, don't fix it, Yeah, if it works, it works.
But a lot of people really are into it. A lot of people are collectors. A lot of people come for different reasons. So there's no reason that you can't like it or be into it. It's just not necessarily everybody's seen. And if you have kind of that response that Monica has, like, oh, I saw the crowd and went, nope.
Yeah.
You can totally join us. Whenever that is, I'll probably be in the hall unless my kids are dragging me around, just hanging out, chatting with people, all that fun stuff.
I'm so excited. It opens on June 8th or 9th. There's opening a Bricks and Minifigs in Fairfield, Connecticut, where I grew up. So when I visit my parents, I can go and sell extra figs and stuff and see bulk bins. Like, I've never had one close. I've had 9 Lego stores in the tri-state area, all with hellish traffic to get to them, but I've never had a Bricks and Minifigs. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. So, hey, there you go. So you've always got that option instead.
The one thing where I live, there's tons of Lego stores, but the traffic to get to all of them, like one's in Long Island, one's in North Jersey, 2 in New York City, there's one in Connecticut. Like, just the traffic to get to them is such a pain.
Yeah. So Don's asking if your shirts will be there on Tuesday, and Stud and I will figure that out tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I could have them up right now in minutes. It's just after you and I talk, just so people know.
Yeah.
They can go up very quickly. And him and I just have to talk, and how he wants to have them integrated into like purchases and stuff. Like,
exactly.
We'll figure that out, and then it'll be easy to get them up. So
big old TBA on that. So Lego History Sam says not going to the garage sale either. It's his first time there, so he feels like he's just going to snoop around it. Just sniff your way into there. Trust me. One of his relatives owns Bricks and Minifigs. Oh, nice. Lego Team B says, sorry I missed it earlier. Stud, will you be there at Chicago?
Yeah, I'm planning on it. As long as work doesn't get in the way, yes. I want to. I couch surf, so on the last minute, like, I have friends like DFab's like, dude, I have extra space in my hotel room. You can stay with me. So
yeah.
There's
also, like, we sold out of the hotel room block pretty early this year, like ludicrously early this year. So there's also a bunch of lower priced hotels. Our room block rate, by the way, is about half of what you would pay without the room block. There's also a Hampton Inn and Suites and a Wyndham Garden right across the pond from the convention center that are very reasonably priced, and they're right there. Wow, my syllable.
I was going to.
Bulls are getting hard. What's that?
Like, I would love to come and have tables and display MOCs, and I was going to with Brick Hive because I have to drive. I can't fly with my MOCs aren't big, but I have a lot of them, and I can't fly with them. So, but Brick Hive, we were going to drive together. I talked about it a long time ago, but he can't go. So this year, so it's next
Brick Hive.
I'd love to really bring some MOCs. He can't.
Yeah.
He usually goes every year. He can't this year. So, but that's why BFAB's like, yeah, but you can fly out for a day or two and just crash with me, which is definitely a possibility. Like that, I want to do that. So
I used to bring massive MOCs from California when I lived out there for working for Legoland, but it's because I broke them down by wall. Yeah, Spring Hill Suites across the freeway. We call it the highway here.
When you build, you also plan
toll road.
for mobility. Like I noticed when your builds, you actually plan on how it's going to be broken down and transported, like as part of your thought process. So
yes, it's important because you may end up building something that you have to throw on a discarded door in order to get it there safely, which we can't always do that. Yeah, I'm kind of gutted too that Hive can't make it.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant to ask you, what happened with the shed that Ryan left there last year?
I don't know. I do not know. I know how it showed up. I don't know what happened to it afterwards. But if it's okay, I think for an 8 o'clock live stream, I thought we were going to end a little early. We are at the 3-hour mark, which is fantastic. I do love that. However, let's start wrapping up. I think we have a couple segments we'd like to run with you, Stud. Yes.
Mini close call and rant. These are what we're trying to do every week now, or at least most weeks, because they've become popular segments. We always get a lot of good discussion in the chat when we run them.
We have an answer.
This week's close call.
So the world's smallest Lego store was donated to one of the lugs. I wonder which one, and I wonder who took it home.
All right, I think this one is going to be interesting because it is definitely a follow-up to one that we did before. So before we asked the question, who was the bigger badass? Was it Sigourney Weaver
or Linda
was
Hamilton?
It Sarah Connor and Linda Hamilton. But skipping which one of them is the biggest badass, what's the better movie, T2 or Aliens?
Ooh, that's so subjective.
Oh, Jesus.
Close call, right, Stud? Close call.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Acting, like you mentioned earlier, some of the acting in Aliens was bad.
Yeah.
Like T2 was a very big global marketing thing, but movie-wise impactful, Aliens was just like, it really hit me when I was younger, and like especially when I saw the first one. So they kind of just, it's tough, like you said, because they're different. Like one was a very mainstream, like global thing with T2, and Aliens was very popular, but kind of its own genre type of thing. You know, like it wasn't as mainstream.
Yeah, yikes.
T2, and maybe because Arnold Schwarzenegger was in T2 and stuff. But
yeah.
Speaking of T2, what happened to the kid who played what's his face, John Connor?
Edward.
I see him now in YouTube videos, and I'm like, whoa, you had a rough life, buddy.
Yeah.
Has he? What happened?
Yeah.
Oh, he got into drugs, and I think he went to prison for a while. And that's kind of the interesting thing to note, is there some parallels there, because Christy Henn, is that her name? The one who plays the little girl in Aliens.
Newt.
The one who plays Newt.
Yeah, Newt.
I think the actress's name is something Henn.
She's Carrie Henn.
Carrie Henn, okay. She also didn't really go on to do anything. I would say.
Yeah, but she didn't go to jail. She's like a teacher.
It's true. But I would say the weakest aspect of both movies is probably the child lead.
Oh, wait a minute. I would say Newt's no, I'm sorry. Carrie Henn was a very good actor in that movie. Better than douchebag. So they found that kid in an arcade because he looked like Linda Hamilton. And what's his name?
He admits that. He does that.
Michael Biehn. Michael Biehn is in both. Oh, no. He's not in T2. He's in T1. Michael Biehn, who plays Hicks in Aliens, is John Connor's father.
When you guys were saying, though, who's the bigger badass of the female actresses?
Yeah.
I was going to say I picked Newt over both of them because she had to survive, dude. Like, she was teaching them. Like.
But then when
until they found her. Yeah. Once they found her, she was like, "Ripley, help me!" Like all the time. It's like a bad script on that part. It's like like the entire colony is dead. You survive somehow, but now you're like, "Oh no, a wheel is turning, and now I can only follow it."
But then in the
end, dump me into the.
In the end, she helped Ripley through the tunnels, though. In the end, she
true
helped me to now she knows the way. But anyways, that's a tough call, like Ben said.
Game over, man. There we go. I got it now.
Game over. That's the call.
Game over, man.
Sure. We got Ralph Nader.
Lock him and load him.
Let's go Aliens as well.
I'm definitely on Aliens.
Okay. Give me the best catchphrase from either movie.
I don't want to say the ones from T2 because they're so overdone, but I would say every single one of them from Aliens.
Well, from T2, it's got to be Hasta la Vista.
Yeah. No. Yeah, but
it's got to be the one. It's the most memorable.
Yeah.
Plenty of aliens, though.
Aliens.
So many.
Earlier, elevator to hell or whatever. It was so
yes, exactly. Game over, man. Game over. It's an elevator to hell. It's they mostly come at night. Mostly. There's so many. Yeah.
I didn't know that he died. Bill Hicks is his name, or
Bill Pullman Paxton.
Yeah.
But did James Cameron did both these movies? No. Yes, didn't he?
I think he did T1 and Aliens.
I thought he did T2.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, there's definitely some DNA sharing across the two of these.
And I didn't know that he married what's her face who played Sarah Connor.
Linda Hamilton, he did.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Oh, they're not together anymore. That's
no, they're not. I think Hamilton was too badass for him. Was the problem.
Oh, I can see that being a problem.
Yeah.
And my quick rant for you guys is, I said it earlier. Bricklink, why can't I order parts from one store?
wait, hey, you can't
jump in the gun. You have a whole minute. Yeah.
You can't do that.
I have more rants, trust me, I have full rants.
Well, should we give Stud the first rant?
We should.
All right.
100%.
Well, actually, no, you guys go first. I need to warm up.
All right.
Warm up. All right, you got some music. I'll get the timer out.
Oh, yep, I got the music.
We got all this going on.
Cake walk.
Okay.
Piece of cake. There we go.
All right, and we'll add this to the stage.
Who's going first?
I would like it if this wasn't so dang big.
I can go if you want me to go first. It's not a big deal.
All right, you're up.
How about this? Let's do this. Ready, set, and start.
Lego people in the community that make custom figures, don't use rasterized Photoshop on a UV printer. You don't do it. The professional designers use vector art, Adobe Illustrator. It's meant to be smooth curves. Please use that instead, because I'm sick of buying $60 custom figs that are all bumpy and you haven't calibrated the printer and you use Photoshop. You shouldn't use Photoshop for figures. It's not meant to happen. Bricklink vendors, why do you send me invoices? I'd rather just have, I want my order to be seamless. I don't need an invoice. Just send me the order. I pay for it. You ship it. There doesn't have to be this waiting a week for an invoice to come through. Makes no sense. Change that, please. And that's about it.
All right.
You're good, man. Yeah, it's great.
You saved themselves
under a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. That was 2 topics of rants.
Yeah. So it's funny. It's because like when you see those rasterized images, we know. I don't know if everybody knows, but we know that you can even just drop that into Illustrator and just trace it. Like make them vectors, and then you can like even smooth out the edges if you need to. But the rasterized images on custom torsos make them look like. Yeah, it looks like
the UV printer. They freak out because UV printers are spray applied, not like pad, which is stamped, and so. And I know that fan designers don't understand these techniques. You learn them in school, but I say it a million times: don't use rasterized art. If you know Photoshop, you can easily learn Illustrator. They work the user experience.
Yeah.
Just use Illustrator, please.
Yeah, and it's like, no offense to our degrees, but they can also figure that out with a simple Google search.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, Ben.
All right.
Near you.
Hold on. Here we go. Let's do this. Ooh, okay. See, I figured this out. Are we ready?
We are.
Let's go. Lego, why have you shrunk the boxes from the old days? Why are my boxes not as big and clunky as the old days? Why can't I open the flap anymore and see the parts inside?
Ooh.
Why? Why are you trying to save space? Why are you trying to add less art to these beautiful boxes, why don't you have the beautiful alternative sets on the back anymore? Are you telling me that shelf space is expensive? And because, as we've talked about, you produce so many dang sets, we can't have big boxes anymore because you need to get all these little boxes so your 987 sets can all go to one store. I don't want little boxes that have, no space in them. I want big boxes with beautiful box art.
10 seconds.
Pictures on the back, with pictures on the front, with opening flaps. Big boxes now, please.
Nice.
Post on that one, everybody. What do we think, guys? Bigger
Very well
boxes?
done.
Yeah. I mean, I like the old flap ones. And they had the little tray in some of them. I mean, come on.
Yep.
Because who are they fooling with the CMFs where they're like, we're making the CMFs in boxes for Mother Earth. No, you're not. You're making them so you can make more profit. Like,
yes.
Marketing strategy. Like
box flaps.
Yes, it is better for the environment. Yes, but that's just a marketing thing you throw around. It's not like we did it specifically for that. But you didn't I'm not stupid.
Yeah, we've got.
Do you guys remember
some very good respect on that one? A lot of people were in agreement with this rant. So I think we're 2 for 2 on rants so far.
Yeah, I agree with it. Do you guys remember? I think there was an Aqua Raiders City line. So it was 2005, 2004, and it was it was Lego City, but it was underwater, and they had the first deep sea exploration type line. They've had several since. But the boxes were gigantic for the pieces that came inside, and people complained about them. And Lego was oh, it's about volume. It's about making the picture on the set proportional so that we can show the dimensions of the set. Mm-hmm. So a set that has this many pieces in it will be in a set this big so that we can market it in the toy aisle. And it was all right, well, you've definitely changed your philosophy on that over the last 2 decades.
Yeah. Less shelf space per inch or whatever for more moolah. I moved you up there, Mark, so that I could get you and the timer on there at the same time.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, see, it's
sorry.
almost
my
like
fault.
what I'm doing.
Let me get the music ready.
All right, you ready to go? Here we go.
I'm so ready. All right, this week I am ranting at AFOLs. I'm going all out, and I'm going after our target audience, the AFOLs. Will you please calm down about why haven't we seen pictures about this set yet? We've known this set's coming out for a year. We want to see pictures. We want to see pictures. We want to see pictures. Let's rewind to 1982 when young little Mark was sitting there looking at his Lego catalog. Once a year, new sets came out. And so when the new year rolled around, he would try to convince his parents to go to Toys R Us so that he could open the box flap and shake the set around and see does this one have a new catalog in it, and then beg his parents to buy that set for him so he could see the new catalog, and then have to sit there once he got a new catalog and very slowly turn the pages so he didn't spoil everything all at once and kind of savored all the new ones. Y'all get 90 new sets a month now. Calm down. You're gonna get your pictures. You're gonna get your sets.
All right. So I would say that rant is essentially the get off my lawn rant of modern days.
Mark, I know.
I took credit for that. That wasn't for me. What's that?
You're from Chicago, so you'll remember this. Remember the Sears catalog? The giant holiday Sears catalog? That was
yes.
Every Christmas, my mother would
say,
pick what you want for Christmas. When we were old enough to realize there was no Santa, she would hand us that, and it was this huge telephone book, and we would go through it and just
highlight what you want.
Yeah, I'd go right to the Lego section.
Highlight what you want.
Yeah.
And then they would miss some because you were just highlighting it. It wasn't like you were making them a spreadsheet. You'd highlight all these things that you wanted, and then you get to Christmas morning and be like, oh, they must have missed a couple pages.
Well, my daughter now, we give her the Target toy circular or whatever. And she'll go to the section and she'll just circle every freaking thing in there So it's like,
That.
what's even the point? You know?
What Ralph Nader just said. So there was the Sears one, yes, but JCPenney seemed to have it laid out better for me. So we always had the JCPenney catalog, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was thicker than a phone book. Like this thing had all the products that they had available for you to like order for Christmas.
Yeah, but it was like thick. It was like telephone paper thin. So it was really easy when you were trying to circle things.
To rip the page out.
Ripping everything on the page.
I have fond memories of Sears because my dad would go there for like paint or tools or things like he'd be doing a house project, and I knew that I could wander into the Lego aisle, and that's when I used to get classic space sets like set 442, the little, they called it the space shuttle, but it was a little white Galaxy Explorer with the white spaceman. It was like a poly box, and those are my fondest memories of getting those when I was a kid.
Yeah,
with Sears, and ironically now that Sears it's abandoned and turned into a college, and it's like right outside the window of where the studio is.
A for-profit college. It's like we would take the car to Sears because they had an automotive department.
Yeah.
This one, yes. All right, so hold on 1 second. This you know the set number, which is amazing. It is. Let's see. That
they called it the space shuttle, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weight and gray, yeah. And you can't find that sealed. It's impossible to find sealed. And that I got for Christmas from me and my brother had like 7 each because every relative bought it because it was a cheap little set. And we and I can't find it sealed now. It's so nostalgic to me, that set, and I cannot find it sealed. It's impossible.
This is what you saw on the shelf.
Yep, exactly.
At Sears.
Yeah.
Except you were at Emden's. Whatever that means.
89 cents.
35 interlocking pieces.
Yeah,
Look at that. Look at that.
I love
where
that.
I grew up out in the boonies here in Minnesota. Now I live in the cities. But before that, we didn't have a Sears. We didn't have a Walmart. We didn't have a Target. Instead, we had the dreaded Pomida. Pomida is a Walmart wannabe, but smaller and in tiny towns here in outstate Minnesota. Most of them are closing now. For a while, I think they converted to Shopcos, and now who knows what they are. But that was my Lego source. They didn't get every set.
Yeah.
But I would always buy when I had money, which wasn't often after I mowed the lawn a couple times. I was always buying small pirate sets. There was one, the Bounty Boat, that had like 5 figures in it.
The Bounty Boat, yes.
Plus a cannon and some treasure and whatever. I'm like, yes, Bounty Boat. I need more Bounty Boats. It's got a crazy number of Bounty Boats from Pomida.
So Stud, let's graphic design. Let's use our graphic design degrees on this image right here. How would you improve this box art?
No, definitely that the sales guy said, make the product shot and the logo the biggest. This is one of those facts that
right.
Yes. What people don't realize about the black boxes, and I tell them this all the time, I forget what the look. There's a certain look. Like every client asks for that as a one option now. Ever since Apple did the all white and all black slick, every client, when you show them a few versions, they're like, "Can we see the premium version?" That's what they call it, the premium version. Just shot on all black or all white. And that for a designer, that takes no skill at all. Like, okay, that takes me 2 seconds.
Spot gloss.
Yeah,
give me the spot gloss, baby.
Yeah.
When I was working on the Legoland,
go ahead.
When I was working on the Legoland Hotel brand, we can tell that's what Lego Corporate kept. The PR team, the media and marketing team kept coming back to us with. They're like, we want it to look like this, and I was like, that looks like an Apple store.
Yeah,
you want an Apple store.
Yeah,
this is not what you approved 2 years ago.
Yeah,
when we started construction, you can't have what you want now. So on this, I would say just basics, brightness, and contrast.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, like that could be an old shot of an old box that's been faded, but I mean, dude, but what's with the black line of like just there's usually when you do like a corner swipe of color, it's for a call to action or a violator. They call. There's no information there except the little legal copy.
Yeah.
Like what's the point of that? Like I would have, and maybe add some stars and Milky Way in the back.
I don't know.
Like come on, like it's just black.
So I see
couple little
I see 4 stars and a planet. Yeah. 4 stars, they're blue blurs. And they may actually have had those as lights in like a studio.
Yeah.
So that may be a literal shot.
Oddly symmetrical.
That corner violator that used to be yellow, I think, makes no sense.
Yes.
That makes no sense. Like, but
none.
Whatever. Like,
yeah.
But I just
but there we are.
Funny that the adult line of black boxes for the packaging system is the premium Apple look. Just put the product shot, a spotlight on it, and that's it. And then the band of bricks on the bottom. I mean, it's effective. It does work. I mean, but it definitely differentiates like the adult sets from the kids sets, so you can
totally.
But I mean, from a design perspective, it takes no skill to do that. It's very easy.
Right.
It all depends on the shot or the 3D render is the hero. So it depends how good that is, you know. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well,
agreed.
I can't say that I know that these were good designs or bad designs, but I don't think they were mistakes because, Mark, there are no mistakes. There are only accidents.
As far as we know. And so, yeah, this has been a very thorough episode. We went to dissect lifestyle shots, and we did that in spades. Stud Sidious, you've been a great guest. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. Yeah, this has been fantastic. And I can see I believe we'll do more in the future. You are now our lifestyle shot resource, but also the shirt is amazing, and you have a lot of marketing experience. We talk a lot about that on here, and I like having that ally because I don't think people always follow what I'm talking about, so it helps to have someone bounce that off of.
No, yeah, I appreciate that because you've been through it. You understand exactly what I'm talking about. Like,
100%. So I don't think we got to show this one last week, but this is one of my favorite outros. And next week, I believe we'll be going into the Blockoverse again, at least for a small segment. So this is one of our original Blockoverse outros. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
I love that. Here's better than any other one we've seen because they're not just animated characters added in. They're like flat stickers with white outlines just playing in the pool. It's like, well, you don't get any minifigs, but you can pretend with sticker people. And the sticker people don't even come with the set. They're just, showing you like what you could pretend that these exciting friends are doing at the Cherry Vitality Beach.
Here's what you can do. Vitality water bar drink to your heart's content, which is definitely excellent grammar. Water curtain door. It opens. That's great. There's a leisure section.
You'd want it to do that.
There's a life-saving observation spot. There's a swim shop. Stand in the observatory to enjoy the breathtaking view. The exciting and funny water slide. Sit in the beach chair and enjoy sunbath. Yes, lockers.
But here's my favorite. The ice cream van, baby. That's a van.
Why? Is there a fish on it?
That is the coolest van I've ever seen. Yeah, what is that fish for? I have no idea.
Go into the shower room to wash the sand off your body.
Well, it's a good suggestion.
Ooh, look, they made different flag molds, or they photoshopped in something and folded it.